Okay. Hello. Um, as you can see, the camera lens is a little different. See if there's like some stuff I can do. Um, image adjustments. Can I set it back to normal? Just saw Fantastic Four and it was good. Nice. Yeah. So I apparently have. Okay. So long story short, a lot of shit happened today. One of those things being that my phone fell in the fucking water. And I hit myself, and a whole bunch of stuff happened. Anyways, I'm okay, nothing's wrong. But my phone broke, so I got a new one. Um, so yeah, I got a new phone. Are you using a wide angle lens? Yeah, this is ultra wide, and this is normal wide. I don't know which one you prefer. Do you guys prefer me being this close, or do you want me to be further away? My day's okay. My day's okay. I'm not complaining. I'm fine. I'm safe. Learned a valuable lesson. I also got a new glasses, courtesy of my mother. Thank you very much. Thanks, mom. Either she didn't hear me or did not care. I'm gonna go with didn't hear me. So yeah, which one do you guys prefer? Either or doesn't matter. No rice could save it. No, the motherboard was fried. Literally, the motherboard and the thing was just fucking fried. That's it. It's dead. I took it to someone. They're just like, nope, it's dead. It's gone. Luckily, I got to salvage some things. I think most of my pictures and shit are gone, which kind of blows. Like I had a lot of images on my phone, and they're all gone. All my searching in Google and all that stuff's gone. Wide POV is good. Like should you like this one? This one's good. You like this one, the ultra wide? This is the ultra wide. Exposure filters. I'm just trying to see if there's like some extra stuff that's making me look weird. Like it feels like I'm like oversaturated. Is it me or do I look oversaturated? Focus, devices, zoom in. A movie should explore alternate timelines. But just imagine Kazuya Sumi with their Reed and Susan Storm. Okay, that's a weird one. I think Kazuya and Chizuru being Susan Storm just makes more sense. But Kazuya isn't insanely smart like Reed, and Reed kind of fucking hates himself. So I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. This is just based on my understanding of Reed Richards. Reed like actually fucking hates how smart he is. Like the dude just straight up hates how smart he is. He's a little too smart. And if is a rich, he obviously has iPhone. This is not an iPhone. This is an Android. This is not. This thing like I don't know how much it costs. I'm just paying for it monthly. I don't like iPhones to begin with. I'm not a fan of iPhones to begin with. Image and adjustment. Nope. Did not like that. Yeah, let's just keep it like this. It's good. Okay. 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 I'm gonna stop messing with this. I'm gonna stop messing with this. Johan, get that onto girlfriend season 4 saturation upgrade. You love to see it. What? What? Oh yeah, you guys can see the shirt now. Like it's actually in plain view now. That's cool. Apple has never been the same since Steve Jobs died. We're just not. Let's just not get into this. Let's just not get into this. So I feel like when I'm this far out, shouldn't I zoom in now? Right? If I'm this far out, shouldn't I zoom in so you can see my face? Don't you think so? Like if I'm is this a new camera? Yes, it is. Is iPhone user can confirm all of this? No, no. I should keep it like this. This is good. You like this? Okay, okay. If you say so. All right, man. If you say so. I feel like it should be a little closer, just not like super duper close. Wide is best. Could you please turn the volume up a little? Oh, that's surprising. How about how about now? How about now? How's the volume now? I turned it up just a tad. Is it doing good? It's not spiking, I hope. I don't think it can spike, but I will set it to around here. Now it's good? Now it's good. Okay. Just gotta make sure it's not too cool. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, so for this chapter, we have a few things we can go through. Johan looks handsome today. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you. It might be the glasses. It might be the new glasses. Anyways. So for today, we have a few things we can go through. So we could start with the chapter theoretically. I have my Twitter thread to read. I have a few things from Japanese fans to read, and we have Reddit to read. Should we go through what other people say first and then get into the analysis of the chapter? Because I have a lot of things to say about the chapter. I have a whole brand new analysis, not just from the one I wrote on Twitter, but like my own that I want to add on to. So where should we start? Should we start from other people and then, well, it just has a professional feel to it. Oh, okay, cool. All right, sure. So should we start with other people? Like we can start with Twitter and then we can go, okay, so start with other people first, then go with that. So I think the first thing we'll start with is my friend Mute, who, well, we barely talk. I don't even know if we consider each other friends. We just talk occasionally. We just occasionally talk. So we can start with that. There's also this Japanese fans thing that we can read. Let me find Mute really quick. I don't know if I just put it in the bookmarks. There it is. Okay. So, others than yours. Others first. Okay. Seems like you guys want me to start with other people first. So we can start with that. So first, let's start with Mute's analysis here. So this should be an interesting one. We don't always agree, but I like what Mute says specifically because he'll notice certain things that we as Westerners will never fucking notice because there's stuff that are specifically references to like Japanese related things that are actually currently happening in some way, shape, or form. The other day when we were talking about how Minnie is literally presenting herself as Oda Nobunaga, one of the users who actually speaks Japanese, I believe they were called Never Stop. They literally told us like how the Oda Nobunaga story played out and how Chizuru is seemingly the person who actually united things and all that stuff, you know. So that stuff is relevant. So let's see if Mute notices anything interesting. I'm not sure. Thoughts and impressions on chapter 387. This time's theme is the big development despite being rejected. Okay. Contrary to Chizuru's feelings, from Yaomori-san's perspective, her relationship with Kazuya seems like a major development. Huh. I actually think that's not the point. So okay, a repeating thing I keep seeing with people here, a repeating consistent thing I keep seeing with people here is they're completely misreading Chizuru. In my opinion, I think they're completely misreading Chizuru. They think Chizuru's denying her feelings. Chizuru is actually being super honest with her feelings, just not with Minnie. For you people, was this a good chapter or a bad chapter? This was a fantastic chapter. This was a really good fucking chapter. This is not a bad chapter in any way, shape, or form for me. But the thing that I'm sensing here that I find is hilarious, people are completely misreading Chizuru's feelings here. And I think the easiest comparison I can show you, So, okay, for those who have tuned in with me, what have I told you about Minnie? What have I consistently told you about Minnie? She is a parallel to Mommy. Okay? She is a parallel to Mommy. And we can see this when? I believe it's chapter 342. How are you doing today? I'm doing good, thank you. Well, okay. The day was a little rough earlier on, but I'm doing okay now. Okay. So, what have I said about Minnie? Minnie is a direct parallel to Mommy. This is a very intentional... So Chizuru made food for Kazuya and waited for him to come back. Yes, the food was for Kazuya, it was not for Minnie. There's evidence actually supporting this in the manga itself. Okay? Minnie is the unintentional Mommy. Okay, that's a good way of putting it. Minnie is Mommy. Minnie, in a lot of ways, is Mommy. Now, what does Reiji directly parallel in chapter 383? Reiji directly parallels chapter 383 with a certain chapter, with a very specific chapter. Okay? I'm gonna pull it up on my end, and I'll compare it to you guys, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then you're going to start getting some context and understanding why Chizuru does not tell Minnie they kissed. Okay? And why Chizuru is surprised Minnie is like so chill and happy about it. Okay? So this chapter right here, for those who have been around, you've seen what I'm talking about. Chapter 383 is a direct parallel to chapter 227, the end of the Hawaiians arc. A very direct parallel to that, okay? So literally, it starts with the ground, it starts with the sky. Here, it starts with, you have Chizuru's legs off the ground. Chizuru's legs are touching the ground. Chizuru's chest is not touching Kazuya. Chizuru's chest is touching Kazuya. Her chest is in front of him. Here, her chest is behind him, and it's touching. Finally, you have Chizuru touching Kazuya's face, in contrast to Kazuya touching Chizuru's legs. Okay. This is the spread of that arc. And this is the spread of this arc. Right? This is at night, and you have these in light. This is in the light, and the title is in black. Okay? You cut to the kiss. You cut to them touching each other, but no kiss. Okay? And then it ends with mommy. Okay. These two chapters literally contrast each other, right? These two chapters literally contrast each other. And that's a very important thing to know, is how they start and where they supposedly end contrast each other. For instance, in the Hawaiians arc, they were supposed to be a big moment in when they went to when they literally went to the church, and it doesn't work out. Here, they go to the pier, supposed to be a super romantic moment, and it doesn't work out. They parallel each other, intentionally so. And what ends up happening at the end of this one? Chizuru is the one who says, I'm Kazuya's girlfriend. Okay? Chizuru's here, I'll pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about. Chizuru's the one who says, I'm Kazuya's girlfriend after kissing him. Okay. Here, if you go to chapter 385, right? Chizuru kisses him. And again, it's similar to this current kiss. It's pretty darn similar to this current kiss. Key differences. There's some key differences, though. One of Chizuru's feet is on the ground. One of Chizuru's feet is in the air. Her hands are not touching him. Her hands are not touching his face. And the big thing is that here, you don't see Chizuru's eyes. They're hidden, and Kazuya's eyes are open. Both of these sequences mirror each other because this one is in shadow. This one is in light. Now, something big happens here. You see Chizuru's eyes. You see her face. What is the big thing you don't see here? Kazuya does not see her face. Her face is blank. These events are reversed. So, Chizuru apologizes and explains, right? Chizuru in the other one apologizes, explains, gives a whole ass explanation, and says she's Kazuya's girlfriend. Here, no explanation is given. Nothing is said. She leaves and tells him you can go. The driver asks him, is she your girlfriend? And Kazuya says, yeah. Kazuya is the one who says it, not Chizuru. Who takes charge here? Who takes charge in this entire sequence? Chizuru. Chizuru takes charge of this entire sequence. Mommy dares her again, and she does it again. Chizuru is completely in charge of that sequence. Here, Chizuru is actually being passive. You think Chizuru is actually in control. Chizuru is being passive. I'm not going to talk about 218 right now. We're not going to talk about season 4. This is not the focus. We'll discuss this later. Please do not bring up the anime at the moment. You can discuss this at a later point in the stream. We're not going to talk about that right now. Okay? Cool. Okay. Chizuru does not explain anything here. Okay? Chizuru does not explain anything, and Chizuru chooses to leave. She lets him go on what he is doing. She does whatever he wants. It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just setting some ground rules. Okay? Chizuru just ends up leaving here. That's it. She just leaves. She explains nothing, and she lets him go on his merry way. What Chizuru is doing here, despite the kiss, is actually being quite passive. You think she's not, she is.
Why can I say this confidently? In the heat of the moment, she kissed him when he asked. When he said, hey, he will keep waiting. He will keep loving her. He will keep accepting her. Right? This scene is important. Most people don't realize what this scene is. The scene in chapter 242. That scene is actually Kazuya very much accepting Chizuru. He doesn't do this in the actual date itself. Kazuya actually fails to do this in the actual date itself. You have an intentional parallel. When Kazuya and Chizuru go on their final rental date, Kazuya actually struggles to accept Chizuru during the date itself. He struggles to open up to her, just like he struggles to accept and open up to her during their dates. Kazuya's big issue, he can't open up during dates. He can't open up during rental dates, and he can't open up during dates because they set expectations. Whenever Kazuya is set with expectations, he kind of has a struggle to perform, unless it's for someone else, right? If it's about him, he always struggles to perform because he thinks he needs to succeed. Whenever Kazuya is put in the position of, I need to succeed for me, for my future, he just fumbles hard every time. Whenever it's for someone else, it literally, dude can move mountains. Hence the movie arc. Hence helping Chizuru out when she's down. Right? Kazuya can do things for other people. He struggles to do things for himself. And he has a hard time appreciating and being honest with himself. So what this kiss does is accept him. And just as he accepted her during the night, when she's a total fuck up and she's a total mess, he accepts her. Now, this scene right here, I'm going to read you something I wrote for it. I'm going to read you something I kind of wrote for it. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to pull up that scene in chapter 242, and I'm going to read you something I wrote for it. Because it'll help people understand the point of the "I'll wait for you forever" that Kazuya says, the 10, 20 years, the point of that. What is the point of that scene? It'll help you understand. Now, why am I talking about all this and not the main chapter? This is relevant. This will help you understand why the current chapter plays out like it does. Because it's an intentional reversal of Mommy and Minnie. It's an intentional reversal of Mommy and Minnie. The difference between Mommy and Minnie is that Minnie is positive, whereas Mommy is negative. But Mommy and Minnie serve a similar purpose in that they want them to kiss again. They don't want, and like literally, what does Mommy do? What does Mommy do that she gets pissed at right here? She tells Chizuru, okay, do it again. I missed it. Right? Mommy forces Chizuru to act. Mommy forces situations and challenges Chizuru and makes her feel uncomfortable, right? And literally forces situations. Mommy actively literally attacks Chizuru, and in so doing creates scenarios and chaos, right? Mommy causes misunderstandings, just as Minnie causes misunderstandings. Minnie being paralleled to Mommy is very, very intentional because Minnie what will she do when she knows stuff? You should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. She'll go to Kazuya and she'll tell him what he should be doing. She literally does this. You should do this, you should do that to Chizuru. Please do this, do that, do this, do that. They represent expectations. They also represent these things that fuel insecurities. Minnie in some ways fuels Kazuya's insecurities. Minnie in some ways feels Chizuru's insecurities. She is both their greatest fear and their greatest desire. I explained this on a Twitter thread I wrote. In that same way, Mommy kind of represents that too. Mommy represents Kazuya's greatest fear. She also represents Chizuru's greatest fear. So them being paralleled with each other is by design, and Chizuru choosing not to tell Minnie is literally like how in Hawaiians, what does Chizuru do? What does Chizuru do in Hawaiians? Whenever Mommy asks her, are you in love with him? What does Chizuru do in Hawaiians? Mommy corners her, pressures her, and tells her and makes her try to give an answer, but she literally rigs the answer. Mommy literally rigs the answer so Chizuru can't be honest. Oh no, these are the bad scans. Let me get the good ones. Right? Mommy makes Chizuru feel cornered, and she pressures her, and Chizuru feels like she can't give her an honest answer, because if Chizuru gives her an honest answer, what can Mommy do? she can be like, oh, okay, so why are you renting him? So she'll go and ruin Kazuya's confession. So she'll get in Chizuru's way. Literally, Chizuru just wants to do the normal thing here, and Mommy keeps trying to cause chaos. And people often actively wonder, oh, why, right? Is Kazuya someone special to you, or is he just a client? This doesn't sound like a rental girlfriend. He's just a client. Mommy feels vindicated in asking this question, and then tries to get now we got to resolve this. Now we got to do this. She pressures and corners Chizuru, right? Notice how Mommy keeps walking up to her until Chizuru is literally against the wall. And she keeps talking and talking and talking, and Minnie does similar things. When Minnie is in Chizuru's room, she does similar things. It's just positive. That's the difference. Minnie, when she walks into the bath, right? When Chizuru's in the bath and Minnie walks in, what does Minnie do? Minnie notices Chizuru acting normal, literally gets in her personal space, literally jumps all over her personal space. Chizuru does not like this. Bro, she does not like you getting in her personal space and getting super invasive and prying. Chizuru cannot stand this. Okay? She can't stand when people fucking do this. Look at her. She literally gets mad, gets out of the bath, and Minnie literally starts yelling and like, oh, please wait a second, come on. And then she's like, okay, so Kazuya asked this. So that's what this was about. And Minnie realizes what happened. She's like, fine. In some ways, Chizuru kind of sees Mommy in Minnie. But not in the sense that, you know, she hates Mommy or she hates Minnie, but in the sense that Minnie actively pries and constantly tries to get information and constantly tries to involve herself in their relationship, right? And Chizuru does not want to, literally, what is Chizuru trying to do in Hawaiians? You see this in the episode that just recently aired. What is Chizuru trying to do in Hawaiians? She's trying to protect Kazuya's feelings. Every time. People always assume, like, oh, that's not what she's doing. That's 100% what she's doing. Here, I'll just pull it up. People, of course, misunderstand this chapter. Fessing up to everything ourselves before Mommy-san does, that wouldn't be an unreasonable plan in this situation. I can't say it'd be great. Can't say it'd be a great outcome either, but I'm sure it'd hurt Grandma less. If we apologize as earnestly as we can settle things. But it's not for me. This is for him to decide. Okay? If we're mirroring this arc, it's important to understand she feels this. It is his choice. He should decide this. If I told you about what happened that day, the plan might change. We might even be able to work together to stop Mommy-san. But if I did, I'm sure you'd be terribly hurt. Right? The most important thing is whether you're in love, right? Tell me, do you want to know? Tell me, do you still have feelings for Mommy-san? She's not saying, are you still in love with her? Do you still have some level of connection to Mommy here? So that if I tell you, would it hurt? Would it hurt if I tell you this? Would it hurt you if I tell you this? Okay. And this is why Chizuru feels like she has to go through this alone. This is now the reverse of that. She's not going through anything alone. She's just trying to create a scenario so Kazuya can say it. Yeah, Kazuya has performance anxiety. Hella. Kazuya has hella performance anxiety unless it's for someone else. If it's for him, dude crumbles. If it's for someone else, he can do literally anything. Right? So, just as Chizuru back then did not tell Kazuya about Mommy, and whenever Mommy asked, she would say he's a client, here it's a reverse mirror. There, she was trying to protect Kazuya from Mommy because he had feelings for Mommy. Here, it's the reverse, right? She's trying to protect his feelings for Mommy back then because Kazuya, she meant a lot to him. She remembers how Mommy meant a lot to Kazuya. Like, here. This right here. You have absolutely no goddamn clue how much I loved Mommy-chan. I'll save you from Kazu-kun, right? Imagine this girl who you deeply loved and cared for suddenly coming after you, right? Suddenly coming after you and saying you're a terrible fucking human being and she wants to save her from him. He's that dangerous of a person. That would gut you a little bit. That someone you cared about this much thinks about you like this. That hurts, dude. That genuinely hurts. And like people are like, oh, and people, when they read this chapter, all they interpreted it as was, what the fuck, Chizuru? No, he's not still in love with her. No, girl. No, that's not, you should go confess to him. That's not what the fuck is happening. She literally just doesn't want to fucking hurt his feelings. She doesn't want him to feel hurt. And unfortunately, in trying to do this, she ends up hurting him more. That's the mistake Chizuru makes here. In trying to do this and trying not to hurt his feelings, she ends up hurting him more. This is a parallel to the current events. Again, Chizuru, seeing how close he got, seeing how earnest and kind he is, doesn't want him to keep clinging on when she's not falling in love, which is a big fucking mistake because you end up hurting him more. So she makes a similar mistake as then, right? She makes a similar mistake as back then, where she wants him to be happy, so she thinks the best way to do that is to let him go. Here, her mistake was that she wants him to be happy, so she needs to stall the confession until they find the right time and they resolve this. She thinks she needs to deal with this on her own. Just as right now, if you understood what was happening then, you could understand how Chizuru is trying to deal with everything on her own at the time. Now it's not that anymore. So why is Chizuru lying to Mommy or Minnie? Why is Chizuru lying to Minnie? Same reason, different purpose. She's lying to Minnie because it's Kazuya's to decide what it is, right? So if she tells Minnie, I kissed him, Minnie will be like, holy shit, that means you love him. No, don't define it yet. Don't tell him to come back. Let him decide that. When Chizuru lets him go here, it is Chizuru letting Kazuya decide. It's his choice. If he comes back, that's what she wants. She makes that entire dinner for him, expecting him to come back. Right? She has faith he will come back. This entire sequence is about faith. Chizuru has complete faith and trust in Kazuya that he understood what she was saying when she kissed him. And she wants him to figure it out. Is that fair? Not necessarily. But Kazuya accepted it, right? Kazuya accepted Chizuru, so she accepted herself. She conveyed all of her feelings in this kiss. It said everything. Now Kazuya just has to stop seeing the rejection and see what he wants and acts on that. Okay? So she's literally letting him decide. That's what Chizuru's trying to do. So when Chizuru lies to Minnie, the reason Chizuru lies here is because this is not for Minnie to know. Any question Kazuya has, she will answer, but to Kazuya, not to Minnie. She doesn't want to say it to Minnie so Minnie can deliver the information like she did in the pre-time skip, right? Remember the 3-month time skip? Minnie was their relay point. She would deliver information to them so they understand why the other person did what they did because they were having a hard time communicating. Here, Chizuru wants to communicate to him in person, right? She's done using phones. She's done using rental. She's done using all this stuff. She wants to talk to him in person. But she wants him to come back to do that as an act of choice, not because she's pressuring him into anything. Okay. We'll continue just a sec. Let me go to that Google Doc so I can pull up what the heck I'm talking about. I think it's right here. Okay. So, let me read you this little thing I wrote. Okay. I wrote this before this chapter came out, mind you. I wrote this before this chapter came out, right? I did not write anything today. I only did my writing yesterday on Twitter, and that was it. I wrote this like last week. So let me read some of the comments before we get into it. The mini date had no expectation. He sees her like a bro. That date went well, lol. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I used to be a surface level reader and misunderstood things on my own, felt frustrated, burned out, etc. Watching Fate stream opened my eyes, vision, and perspective on Chizuru and Kazuya's love journey. Thank you for your analysis, predictions, and done streams. It makes you enjoyable to read the manga. Thank you. Yes, I thought Chizuru knew that Minnie was coming back the same day, but she didn't know. Okay, so let's talk about that really quick, right? I mentioned it in the last stream. Chizuru's okay. You can tell a lot about Chizuru in her iconic thing. Close one eye, open another. Half a lie. She's saying half a lie. Did you want to eat something? I heard you were coming back today, so I made enough for two. That's a fucking lie. Because where would she have heard that? Right? The only other person who could tell her is Kazuya, and he never mentions it. If you go back to chapter 384, the only thing he mentions in chapter 384 is this. They have a singular conversation about Minnie right here. Yamura-san's not around, huh? Kazuya doesn't know. She said that she was working in the countryside since yesterday. She's moving out tomorrow, apparently. Kazuya's like, oh, I see. The only thing Chizuru knows is she's moving out tomorrow, apparently. That's it. Nothing else is discussed about Minnie. If you go to chapter 385, there's only one other sentence where Minnie is mentioned. Right here. Thanks for cleaning up the room. Just because I'm leaving the desk doesn't mean I shouldn't keep it tidy. Just kidding. Chizuru doesn't laugh. Sorry about the curtain. It's fine. I'll take it off with Minnie-chan. What does Chizuru do? She takes it off without Minnie. Chizuru takes it off without Minnie. She does not need Minnie. She's good to go. She doesn't need Minnie. 2, so that already tells you, okay, she already kind of lied here, right? She's saying, I don't need help. She's saying, I don't need help. Then you go to the next chapter, and seemingly Chizuru somehow knows Minnie was going to come back. Except, look at Chizuru's reaction when Minnie walks through the door. What is Chizuru's reaction when Minnie walks through the door? Welcome back. It's not excitement or anything like that. It's just casual. Oh. It almost looks like, oh, it's you. I wasn't expecting you. Chizuru's face has the, it's you. I wasn't expecting you. That's the vibe it gives. In contrast, Chizuru seemingly knew Minnie was coming back. That's a fucking lie. She didn't know Minnie was coming back. She was planning something else. However, there's a half truth for this. Let's start with eating, right? Let's go eat something, right? Let's start there. That's kind of the truth, right? Let's ease the tension. Let's work our way there. Perhaps the fact that Chizuru cooked in the hope that Kazuya would come back. She definitely 200% cooked for Kazuya to come back. Literally, this entire sequence is an expression of Chizuru's love, not for Minnie. And so Minnie naturally completely misunderstands it because it's not for her. Here's the best way I can tell. Here. You want to know the best way you can tell Minnie does not understand the situation? You want to know the best fucking way Minnie does not understand the situation? Right here. You got the curtain down that clearly symbolizes that only girls are left in the house. That's never what the curtain symbolized. That was never the intentional meaning of the curtain, right? But if you look at it from how Chizuru initially described it, that was the intent of the curtain. The curtain was just a veil to allow Kazuya a sense of protection. Here, she removes the veil, so she's like, okay, I'm going to completely open up to you. The veil represented Chizuru removing all walls, all curtains, everything that could possibly get in the way. You can see me completely for who I am. Not only girls are left in the house. However, that's a logical assumption to make, considering it was there for Kazuya. That's not what it symbolizes, but that's how Minnie interprets it. Her own perception shapes her reality, right? So when you understand it like that, and when you understand Chizuru literally lied that Minnie would help her take it down, but she didn't need Minnie's help, right? Because that would mean it's only like, right? Oh, I need Minnie's help to solve this problem. That is my veil. That is the veil I placed. She doesn't need Minnie's help for it. She solves it on her own. Literally like how Chizuru already solved this entire situation on her own. She doesn't need Minnie to do anything. So she naturally does not involve Minnie. I don't need you here. I got this. You're not the great unifier. You did that before. Literally, okay, so for those who are like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about Oda Nobunaga? Oda Nobunaga, Minnie calls herself the Demon King, and she returned to the castle, and she literally says, my name is Oda Minnie. Even Japanese fans were just straight up, she's referencing Oda Nobunaga, the great unifier, aka the person who started uniting Japan. Like Oda, Minnie started it. Minnie was their initial unifier. She started it. She did not see its ending. She never saw its ending. She's not the one who was going to complete it in the end. That was never going to be Minnie. That was going to be Chizuru. And Minnie does not realize it already happened right in front of her, just as Oda never actually saw it happen. Okay. Now, literally, if you look through Minnie's eyes, you'll misunderstand. That is by design. However, we as the viewers are giving a single context. That context, if you know how to understand it, will shape your entire perception. People who only look at Chizuru's immediate answers to Minnie will think to themselves, wow, what a bitch. Right? This comes right here, Chizuru's line here. That date was fun. I said I might be in love with him, but not enough to date him. Sounds pretty rude, cold, even high and mighty, right? Then there's this line here. He might pay me to see him again in the future. My consciousness won't allow me to string him along any further, right? Which implies that, oh, he's going to rent me again in the future, so I'm not going to string him along. I'm going to set it clear that there's no feelings here. But that makes no sense. This makes no sense, considering she kissed him. This doesn't add up, and this doesn't add up. She's blatantly lying to Minnie. Why? Reiji wants you to have that question in the back of your head. Why is she lying? Why is Chizuru choosing not to tell Minnie the truth? This is intentionally shown here to you, right? It was the first date for you to tell me what it was like, hidden in shadow. It was fucking magical for her. But she doesn't tell her that. Notice how Chizuru doesn't tell her about any of the details. Minnie wants to know the details. Chizuru tells her none of the details. Intentionally so. This is not for Minnie to know. The veil was not removed for Minnie. The veil was removed for Kazuya. It was not there for Minnie to begin with. The veil was never there for Minnie to begin with. Minnie was already in Chizuru's inner circle. So why would the veil represent the fact that it's only girls here? Right? That's the misunderstanding. Minnie was already in there. So she's acting like she's going to learn something new here. There's nothing new to learn, right? Chizuru doesn't need to tell her or explain anything. And Chizuru is actually surprised by Minnie here, that when she says this line, which seemingly comes off as cold, right? Minnie actually takes it well. See, this line right here is completely neutral. This line, it seems harsh, but it's literally just as it happened. Kazuya literally describes it like this. Kazuya in the earlier chapter straight up describes it like this. Here, let's pull it up. It's literally as it happened. It's completely and utterly neutral. And Minnie chooses to see the positive because you can interpret it negatively, right? You can easily cling on to the negative when she said, I don't love him enough to date him, right? So it's like, oh, what do you mean? What the fuck, right? But you had this date, you had this thing. But no, Minnie doesn't see that. She's like, oh my God, you actually got closer. And that's what Minnie latches onto. But listen to how Kazuya describes it here. In the end, I was in bed all night just thinking about it. I couldn't get any sleep. Okay? She said that she might be in love with me. Gets excited about that. But that's clearly a step up. I'm getting closer. In a way, that's an answer to the kiss at Hawaiians. Literally what Minnie says. She regurgitates these exact words. Doesn't that just mean too much for her to handle, right? What are you doing seriously? He can't blame his grandma. The problem is, what am I going to do from here, right? I'm the one who said I'd wait until she fell in love with me. I have no idea if they'll pay to keep hoping for it. Her saying that she might be in love with me, that she's unsure. After all, nobody can say for sure how seriously Mizuhara is thinking about. Wait, where was the part where he said it? Damn it, where's the part where he says it? He says it right here. Where was it? Okay. She rejected me, that's for sure. I really tried my best on the date. My feelings getting through her, there's no doubt. She might be in love with me. Mizuhara might be in love with me. She said that she might love me. Where's the part where he says, but not enough to date me? The problem is, what I'm going to do, Mizuhara's really insisting on telling me no. It's just her being kind enough not to make me wait anymore. Before, after all, we can say for sure. Seriously, Mizuhara's thinking about it. Okay, maybe Kazuya doesn't say it. I guess I missed it. My bad. Right? But Chizuru literally phrases it exactly as people interpret it, right? So she's just literally saying it as it was. I could have sworn Kazuya said it. Maybe I missed it. I could have sworn Kazuya said it. My bad. I could have sworn Kazuya said it. I guess not. But yeah. Here, another thing too. Minnie literally eats Kazuya's dinner. Minnie literally eats Kazuya's dinner. Fuck. Right? She literally ate the fish Chizuru made for him. Fuck. Okay, so Minnie takes this line positively, and it genuinely surprises Chizuru. Just look at her. She's surprised. She's like, what? You even see like an exclamation point. She's like, oh, I didn't expect that reaction. I didn't expect Minnie to talk like that. I didn't expect Minnie to be supportive like that. But then Chizuru doubles down on this. Okay, so here's the interesting part. There's some interesting details being presented to you here. Chizuru says this line that could be interpreted negatively. Minnie chooses to see it positively. But then, as Minnie expects more, what does Minnie say here? Master's running in circles. I'm going to be looking forward to how you two progress from here. That's not going to happen. What did she say? You're not going to see how we're going to progress from here. You're not going to see that. That's not for you to see. That's what she's answering to. Right? I'm going to look forward to see how you two progress from here. You're not going to see that. That's what she's saying. Not going to happen. But my relationship and his relationship, not yours. Right? I want this thing to be between me and him. Now, how can we understand this a little bit better? There's two ways we can understand this. Chizuru's line right here. So she imagines Kazuya dressed like this for the day. She's like, what the fuck? Come on, he'll obviously have some common sense. There's no reason to imagine these pointless things. Besides, even if he did wear something like that, I would just tell him and we could go buy clothes together. In that sense, it makes it feel like lovers have infinite time. Anything can be solved by talking no matter their differences. That's the kind of relationship they have. A bond shared with only one other person in the entire world. Minnie is their friend. She is family. She's kind of like their kid. She's the little sister. But it's not her relationship. Are you starting to get why Chizuru is completely cutting her out? It's my relationship and his relationship. Right? I'm sorry, Minnie, but this isn't for you. This is for me and him. You are simply the observer. You are our friend. You can live with us. You can connect with us. But I'm sorry. Like, this is between me and him. Chizuru does not want Minnie to be a part of this. I know that's a little harsh, right? I can understand why people can interpret that as harsh considering how much Minnie has been a part of this. But when you realize Minnie has in many ways caused a lot of the issues, Minnie has in a lot of ways gotten in between all of this, you can see why Chizuru just wants this to be between him and her. She's not removing Minnie as family. She's not asking Minnie to leave. She's not saying she can't be involved with them. She's literally just saying, it's my relationship with him, and I don't want to share that with anyone else. It's literally between me and him. That's what this is. That's why Chizuru is seemingly cutting Minnie out, not opening up to her, actively closing her eyes and just be like, no, my relationship with him. I don't know. Stop interfering. She's not only preventing misinterpretations because of Minnie, she wants Kazuya to talk to her, not to go to Minnie. Because Kazuya always goes to Minnie. Every single fucking time. Every time there's a problem, he goes to Minnie. Come to me. Talk to me. I'm right here. Stop going somewhere else to get your answers. Why don't you get it from the fucking source? I am the goddamn source. Ask me. Don't you want a relationship with me? So Chizuru does not tell Minnie stuff because it is not for Minnie to know. So if Minnie asks Kazuya and she tells him Chizuru did not explain anything, but Kazuya should know about the kiss, do you see how Kazuya could be like, wait, maybe Chizuru doesn't want her to know? See what I mean? Now, maybe Kazuya won't think that far ahead. Maybe he might make the mistake of telling Minnie. In which case, I can see Chizuru to talk to Kazuya and be like, hey, this is like, I don't want you to talk to anyone else about this stuff. I want this to just be between me and you. A special bond between me and you. No one else. Right? Kazuya needs to talk to Chizuru directly. There was people in the comment section talking to me about how they don't understand what's going on, and I'm like, here, I have a good one. I have a genuinely good one. That I responded to someone who was asking questions, and I can find it right here. Community responded. Yeah, specifically responded. Yeah, so this person was like really mad. So here, I'll pull it up. This person right here was saying, all this talk about Chizuru wants him to do something, then open your goddamn mouth if you want something to say. But okay, then. Rude as fuck, first off. Exactly. Chizuru kept telling him what she wants, and Kazuya kept not doing it. You're misdirecting your frustration. Go through the day. Kazuya literally never does anything he wants when she asked. Every answer is the right answer, not the honest answer. She stops asking. Chizuru just does. She kissed him, gave him the green light, and he has the go-ahead. Ask what you want. It's about Kazuya saying what he wants, and he won't do it no matter. Okay, let me reread that. It's about Kazuya saying what he wants, and he won't do it no matter how much she tells him it's okay to. Go back to the cohabitation. How often does she ask him to just do and say what he wants? And Kazuya often doesn't. When he finally does what he wants, she agrees. Whenever he wants something, she gives it to him. I understand being angry because you think Chizuru isn't communicating, but she has. She said it constantly and consistently. But if Kazuya wants to know more, he has to choose to be in this relationship. Because so far, he's been so focused on his fear that he can't see what's right in front of him. That's why his eyes are open when she kissed him and her eyes are closed. So she stopped looking and just let go. He started looking and realized what he stopped holding on to. Okay. Then he asked me another question. How is he supposed to know what would be okay for her and what not? She tells him she loves him, but she rejected him the next moment. She tells him he shouldn't keep loving her, and yet she kissed him. Her face doesn't tell him anything either. How is he supposed to understand that? Who wouldn't hesitate with making a decision in this position? Okay, you're asking the right questions. You, sir, are asking the right questions. And what is the crucial piece here? Ask. What the fuck does it mean? Right? What has Kazuya had on his mind this whole time? Right? Okay. What was on Kazuya's mind in chapter 382? Right? What was on Kazuya's mind in chapter 382? He doesn't understand. I kind of forgot to ask for more details. Does yet mean we could have something later? Is there a chance she might love me in the future? But maybe she was just sugarcoating it. Okay? I just can't think straight right now. Okay. Chapter 384, what happens? Two contrasting things. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Too much information to process. Too much happened in a single day. This is all new to me. My brain can't keep up. You have two contrasting things happening. Let me keep reading. What has Kazuya had on his mind this whole time? Questions. And what does he never do? Ask questions. You want to know? Ask. Kazuya even points out he never asked what she meant when she turned him down. He never got details or explanations. He just appeared to accept it because he kept telling her it's fine. Even in the end, he's not being honest. Do you see why Chizuru turned him down? He's being the nice guy who does the right thing. He doesn't look comfortable from Chizuru's POV. Is he actually happy? What if all this waiting makes him miserable? And he's missing out on life? What if she can't give him what he wants? What if she's asking too much? Except that's the illusion. Kazuya is having a great time despite it all. He doesn't care about time, right? We see that right there. All he remembers is the smile. Right? Kazuya is having a great time. He just wants to be there. He just wants to be with her. And all the time is worth it. The ending contradicts the whole date by design. It doesn't make any sense because our POV stops us from seeing this. And just like Kazuya, we can't know unless we ask. Yet again, brings us back to the questions that need answers. Kazuya is not seeing Chizuru and he's not asking. Just like how he never noticed the blister. Just like we never did. If he wants to know, he has to ask. She can't constantly explain and protect him. He needs to face the fear and uncertainty just as he did the rejection. Kazuya needs to face and accept his desires just as he accepts his love. Chizuru accepted them because of him. Now he needs to do the same. His head is all jumbled up, and none of it makes sense. So fucking ask. He never asks. She wants him to ask, but she can't make him. Chizuru can't make him ask. Whenever she asks or explains, he struggles to understand her intent due to his own assumptions. So when he said what he wanted, that he'll keep loving her and keep waiting, she gave him an answer. She didn't say anything. She just showed him how she felt. And if he wants to know more, if he still wants more, he can come back. The keychain, the kiss, these are all answers. He needs to remember what those means. He needs to remember what those things mean. He needs to start seeing what's in front of him clearly. He needs to start saying what he wants so she can give it to him. She literally said she wants to be someone who gives love, not takes it. And she gave a whole lot of love during the date. And all she wants from Kazuya is to say what he wants. That's it. Hence why we thought that the ticket he gave her for her birthday will serve that purpose. Right? So remember that stream this person was talking about? We assume that the ticket will ultimately result in her saying, say what you fucking want. Or ask what you want for his birthday. Anywho. So, yeah. The entire thing is Chizuru just wants him to say what he wants, and you need to start asking fucking questions. Right? Chizuru's like, I'll answer your questions, just not Minnie's. I'm not going to let Minnie be the one to transfer this information to you. You want to talk to me? Talk to me. Stop using Minnie as the scapegoat. Stop using Minnie as a crutch. Minnie is not in our relationship. You are. Right? You are in the relationship, not Minnie. Right? So Minnie is not going to be the fucking solution here. She can't be the solution. If they are supposed to be able to communicate and interact with each other, Minnie cannot be the solution. It's that simple. You cannot use Minnie as a crutch anymore. If you want to communicate with Chizuru, if you want to have this relationship, you have to face her head on. That's what the veil being taken down actually truly represents. Remember what we said before? Why was the veil there? Why was the curtain there in the first place? Chizuru put the curtain up to make him feel comfortable. Because she thought he was uncomfortable seeing her, possibly maybe running into her naked or something happening or seeing the girls in uncomfortable ways. Because Kazuya actively showed he was afraid he was causing her problems, that he was worrying her. Okay, she just told him, you're not causing problems, you're not a worry, and I'm taking the fucking curtain down. She's literally showing him she's not saying anything anymore. Right? She's just showing him she's not saying anything anymore because every time Chizuru tries to say something, he does not fucking understand. Because she has trouble communicating honestly. So what does she do? Her actions speak for her words. That's why Chizuru is doing this. That's why Chizuru does not talk to Minnie. Chizuru is cutting Minnie out by design. However, it leaks a little bit. How is Kazuya supposed to know everything that happened before? He's not. You want a fucking solution? Ask. You want to understand? Ask. The constant repeating thing in Kazuya's head is questions. You want to fucking understand? Ask. She gave you the goddamn green light. She kissed you. She said, hey, I like literally she kissed you for no other reason than to kiss you. If that's not the biggest green fucking light I've ever seen, I don't know what is. Right? Chizuru's just saying, ask. However, here's the irony. Here's the bit of irony in this scene. It leaks out of Chizuru a little bit. It kind of comes out of Chizuru a little bit. She wants to know what he's thinking. He's always used Minnie to know what Chizuru is thinking. Kazuya has always used Minnie to know what Chizuru is thinking. And every time Minnie talks about Kazuya, she seemingly gets it correct. Minnie actually knows Kazuya quite well, right? I bet Kazuya is super happy. This makes Chizuru happy, that he's happy. She's like, oh, that's cruel, right? Minnie's like, we were being stubborn. What did Master say? That he loves me. See, I knew it. She predicted it, right? Minnie consistently predicts Kazuya accurately. She, however, does not predict Chizuru accurately. So when Minnie literally says exactly what Chizuru is kind of thinking, curiosity got the cat. Was there anything else he said? Did anything else happen? She wants to know. Her curiosity of what he's thinking starts to leak. Her idea of the relationship that she's so firmly set on crumbles a little bit. Because, God, she's so fucking curious. She really wants to know what he's thinking. And throughout most of it, Kazuya has not really shown what he's thinking. But Minnie tends to know. Minnie tends to kind of know what Kazuya's thinking. So she just... I kind of want to know. Curiosity got her. She can't help it. She's just thinking about it. She is thinking about the kiss. The chopsticks are literally on her lips when she thinks about this. Did he mention the kiss? Did he talk about it? She really wants to fucking know. And then when Minnie is like, what are you talking about? Oh, snapping back to reality. Okay. Right. The plan was to talk to him, not Minnie, right? Yep, that was the plan. Yep. Walks away. Now, this is interesting. Is that a little harsh? Is that a little strict? Maybe, but Chizuru just wants this relationship only with him, not with anyone else. And in some ways, Kazuya experienced this too with Kibe, if you think about it, right? What does Kibe do, right? This is the other thing I was going to reference. Chapter 245. This chapter is really important. Kibe, for most of Rent-A-Girlfriend, is actively in between Kazuya and Chizuru's relationship. Like, literally actively fucking butting in. And he causes negative misunderstandings in some ways, but he can also do positive things. Kibe and Minnie kind of mirror each other. Okay? So, where is it? Right, so Chizuru goes to Kibe to get answers about Kazuya, then she gets nothing. Right? Remember what happened? Minnie made the same, Chizuru made the same exact fucking mistake. Chizuru made the same exact fucking mistake, and it didn't do anything for her. She went to talk to Kibe, She went to talk to Kibe, and she didn't get the answer she wanted. Everything Kibe told her, she already knows. This isn't what Chizuru was here for. There's a reason Kibe intentionally mirrors her here, because he's saying what she already knows. He's in the dark about what she wants, and she's in the dark because she already knows. That's not what Chizuru was asking, right? He cares about you more than anyone else in the world. That's the kind of guy he is. Yeah, I know. I know he does. And doesn't that fit with that idea? It's my relationship with him and no one else. But Kibe notices it's not working. He's not helping. It's not doing anything. Kibe learned his lesson that he can be involved in certain circumstances, but he should butt out in others, right? It's not your relationship. It's not your relationship, right? You're the third wheel. Like, no matter how you look at it, you're the third wheel. It's not your relationship. So you can help a little bit, but eventually you kind of got to butt out. It's their problem to solve, not anyone else's. People have to get out of the relationship. Like, it's the sad truth. It's not your romantic relationship. It is theirs. And you have to kind of step out of it a little bit. Kibe realizes this, right? He starts saying something Chizuru kind of understands. A lot's happened, but in the end of the day, he'll make you happy. Nothing's changed my mind about that. And she connects to that. But again, she's in shadow. That's not what she was asking. Seriously, what am I doing? Now I'm even bothering Kibe-san about this. I need to find my answer already. What is Chizuru's big mistake? She keeps trying to find her answer through other people. Not through her relationship with Kazuya, not through Kazuya, not through her own self, right? Like, she should find that answer through him, not anyone else, right? And the problem is, Chizuru's mistake at the time, she kept going to other people. And she realizes that now. No one else can help her but the other person. Your relationship is with him, not with anyone else, so no one else could possibly give you the answer. When he asked, do you love Kazuya? It's clear on his face, and Kibe realizes, I don't need to ask anything else. This is where Kibe, in my opinion, actually became a true bro. In my opinion, this is when Kibe became a true bro. He learned to fucking butt out. Don't get involved in their relationship. Get the fuck out. And he realizes this in chapter 245. If I can find that chapter real quick. Kibe, I'm sorry for lying to you about Chizuru all this time. I wanted to tell you about it so many times, but not even once could I bring myself to do it, and things turned out the way they did in the end. It's not like I deceived you on purpose, not in the least. I can't. I don't have the time to hold a grudge over stuff from over 4 months ago. Right at this point, it's been over 4 months. An awkward dude is awkward because he can't treasure a bunch of things at the same time. Of course, people get big with money or power, but everyone has small vessels they're born with, which they fill with things they can protect right up to the brim and live with that. To be honest, it was exhausting thinking I've been lied to all this time. I was jealous of you walking around with a bombshell, but I was happy for you too. I thought you were a good match. Doesn't that sound a little similar to Minnie in some ways? She's jealous of Kazuya for having something meaningful and something he really cares about in such a meaningful way, and yet at the same time she's happy for them. That's literally Minnie. I believe that I believe that I could be more than honest and talk to you about stuff all the way down to my core. So how weird do I look now, never thinking to Google Chizuru Mizuhara, right? This is Chizuru with Minnie. This is literally Chizuru with Minnie. But she's your girlfriend, isn't she? So the bond you two have is real. If you think that's something more precious than a childhood friend, then so be it. Seeing it like that, I could make peace with it. Is this starting to make sense? Anyone else doesn't matter. They both need to figure things out together by starting to communicate what's on their mind to take the relationship work. Correct. That's what Chizuru is doing here. She's removing Minnie from the equation. This is not their relationship. This is not Minnie's relationship. She doesn't get to just observe and be a part of this constantly. It's not hers to figure out. It's not hers to observe their progress. This is not your progress to observe. It's for them and no one else. In a sense, it's a call out to us as the audience. Their relationship, not yours. Telling Kazuya to be with someone else, that's not for you to decide. That's for him to decide. Telling Chizuru not to do certain things, that's for her to decide, not for you. Right? Do you think that the last chapter commenting on Minnie only being gone from Tokyo for one day will hint at Kazuya only being gone for the house for one day? See, you know what would be sick? And this is just pure hopium. This is pure hopium. I hope it happens. I don't know if it'll happen. I want Kazuya to come back before the night changes. He literally never leaves. Peak cinema. Cinema. Okay, let's keep going with this real quick. It's normal for people to lie about what's precious to them. That doesn't mean they had bad intentions. It just means you weren't a guy that couldn't tell a lie like I thought you could. That doesn't mean you've strayed from the definition of a good person. But if you break up now, I'll disembowel you with a chainsaw. Isn't that funny that later he takes this back with Chizuru? In chapter 303, he takes this back. Let's show that. Let's show that real quick. When he talks to Chizuru, he takes it back. He's like, oh fuck, is something happening again? Fuck. Right? He thinks something's happening, and then he looks at Chizuru for a second. He's like, okay, I'm gonna calm down. I'm not gonna butt in. I'm gonna calm down. I'm not gonna butt in. Look at this. He's panicking. He's freaking out. He's seeing the same thing happening again. He's seeing Hawaiians happening again. And he's panicking. You can literally see it on Kibe's face. Did something happen again? Fuck. He slows down. He sees Chizuru. Okay. I said I'd kill him if you guys ever split, but I know you two are started from a complicated situation. You're both adults, so there's no telling what'll happen, if I'm being honest. Chizuru's even surprised, right? I don't know if you can see Chizuru on my little screen here. Chizuru's even surprised. She's taken aback by Kibe's words here. Oh, that's pretty sensible, right? It's pretty sensible of Kibe. But yeah, as for what kind of guy he is, I've been stuck with him all my life, so I get the feeling you expect me to sing his praises, but to be honest, he's nothing special. And that works, right? Chizuru's surprised by this. He's stupid, he's not good looking, he's not exactly in good shape, he's poor as dirt, and he's a total wimp. Did I mention he's stupid? No matter how you look at it, he has no business being with a girl like you. Chizuru disagrees. She has no business being with a guy like him. Chizuru disagrees. Well, to put it another way, he cares about you more than anyone else in the world. That's the kind of guy he is. Chizuru doesn't completely agree, and Kibe doesn't understand her intent. But Kibe calmed the fuck down. He realized he can't really get involved. It's not his relationship to solve. And he stepped back. He took a fucking step back. Kibe, this is when Kibe to me became a true bro. He learned to just remove himself from the equation. You can care about your friends, man. You can genuinely give a shit about your friends. You can maybe discuss and talk about the relationships and help them, but it is their decision. It is their relationship. It is no one else's. I have been in this situation. My best friend almost broke up with his girlfriend. And I was trying to help him, but I only had an outside POV. And guess what happened? I was completely wrong. They got married. They were having arguments. They were struggling. He was confused. He didn't know what to do. I gave him terrible fucking advice. They got fucking married. Because they solved it without me. It was not my relationship to be involved with. It was theirs. He figured it out without me. He did not need me to do anything. And then they used to come to me. They used to come to me to talk to me about the relationship. They don't anymore. They talk to each other. They don't need me. I'm not their therapist. I'm not here to solve anything. It is their relationship. And that's literally what's going on. That is what romantic relationships are. Please understand, if you're in a romantic relationship, you can talk to your friends about it. You can discuss certain things, but ultimately it is your relationship with your partner to solve and no one else. No one else can solve that for you. Your friends can be there, but they are not the end-all be-all solution. It is your relationship with that other person. It is you two's relationship, no one else. Whatever you decide is the truth, right? Not what anyone else says. And what is the repeating theme in the date? What is a repeating theme you'll see in the date? Dooming is exhausting. Yes, dooming is exhausting. Stop dooming, start living. Stop dooming, start living. Okay. Chapter 362. What happens when Kazi and Chizuru enter Joypolis? They walk in, massive crowd. It's full of people. It is full of people. The lines are super long. They are surrounded by people. Minnie is right. Love is a lonely battle between the people in it. Well, it's not. Well, here. Let me correct that a little bit. It's only as lonely as you dealing with it alone. But a relationship is two people. Minnie has only ever experienced one side of a relationship, the lonely battle. She's never experienced the other half, where you actually deal with it with the other person. Because Minnie's never been in a relationship. So Minnie only knows the lonely battle. She's convinced herself she's not fit for this, when that's not what love is. That's not what a relationship is. It's not a lonely battle. It's between you and the other person. And you should be able to talk it out and go through it together. It's not lonely because you have another person to help you through it. Minnie only knows one side of the equation. The side where you like someone and you got to confess. That part is lonely. That struggle is seemingly lonely. But in reality, what have we said about confessions? They're an illusion. Confessions are an illusion. Takes two to tango. You can't deal with love alone. You have to be in love first before dealing with battle of love. From the very fundamental nature of love, it involves another person. It is not lonely, because by its fundamental nature, it is you interacting with another person. You have to fall in love with another person for you to even be in love, right? And if you fall in love with another person, you're not alone, because you feel that connection with someone else. You're connecting to someone. You're not alone. You'll literally never be alone. Like for anyone out there, please understand you're not alone. Even if you're not hearing people, or they're not touching you, or they're not with you, you're not alone. Okay? I know this sounds a little corny for some people, but like I know there's a lot of people who feel very lonely. And as someone who used to really struggle with loneliness and isolation and alienation, understand you're not alone. And when I've accepted that I'm not really alone and I have other people in my life, even you guys, it's actually made me feel comfortable being alone. I actually enjoy being alone now. It's kind of nice, actually, right? Because alone and loneliness are two different things. What is love in your opinion? Broad question. Very broad question. Quick, check your closet. You're not alone. Oh, God. Oh, no. What is love? That's... Love, in my opinion... Fuck, it's hard. Love is not a battlefield. Love is not a battlefield. I think love, in my opinion, is broad. Are you talking about romantic love, familial love? Are you talking about sibling love? It varies. For family, it's you truly... Love is expensive. Love is war. Okay, fucking shut up already. If you're talking about family, love is, your parents give you the tools to fuck up, but they don't dictate your life. For your parents, it's supposed to be in some way. It's supposed to be unconditional love. They support you. They're always on your side, and you care for them in a very supportive way too. But nobody owes anybody anything. You do it because you care. In terms of, it sounds weird, I guess. Friend love is you connecting with someone else, and trusting them and forming a bond on trust. That you feel a genuine connection with someone, even though you have no direct relation to them. So that transitions unconditional love and becomes conditional. It's conditional on the fact that you're together. Now we go to romantic love, and it's a mix of the two. Now we go. What's going on? What's spinning? Stream is spinning. Oh. What What do you mean like it's spinning? What's going on? Oh, it's buffering. Stream died. Well, shit. Jeez. Why's everyone leaving? Oh, is it working? Okay, 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 okay. So we established two different things here. We have familial love, which is something that's given to you, and it's unconditional. It's formed by blood, if you will. But at the same time, it's something that is okay. Familial love is unconditional. Let's not talk about blood because family transcends blood. And then you have friendship, and friendship is more of a choice. Romantic love is between the two. Romantic love is between the two. It is an active choice. It is an active, ever evolving choice. Right? It's YouTube hating on you right now. Okay, I get it. Romantic love, in my opinion, is an active choice, an active, consistent choice. It is about sacrificing for someone. It is about always choosing to talk to someone. It is about accepting someone. You see all of them and you choose to accept them. It's about forgiveness. It's about it's not easy. It's not easy. You got to really fucking struggle through it. You really have to endure like Kazi and Chizuru endure. It's a constant test. The best way I can put it is that romantic love is in some ways a constant test, but when you succeed, it feels worth it. You're happy when you transcend romantic love. When you get into that, you feel happy. But the people who tell you it doesn't get hard are fucking lying. Love is hard. Love is a challenge because it's an active choice. That's what makes it difficult. That's what makes love difficult, but makes it worth it. Love is an active choice, and you do it because you want to, not because you have to. You should never feel forced to be in love. Love is a choice, right? Your choices, your what you choose to do in love, your actions. That's what helps you understand love. This is why you can understand and relate to Kazuya. This is why you can understand through Kazuya. You can understand Kazuya's love through his actions, right? Because even though he doesn't show himself, he still chooses love no matter what. Even when he's hurt by Chizuru in a way that really fucking like breaks him, he chooses love and acceptance. That's love. That is love. It is that active choice to always accept and be there for that person, even if it may not work out. Even if you break apart, you have to always choose to be for that person, and that person always still matters to you. And unfortunately, that's not all romantic relationships. Unfortunately, a lot of romantic relationships don't understand this, and they break apart actively. That's why there's so many divorces. That's why most marriages don't work out. The fact that marriage became like a what is it? Like a big money thing has removed the intention of what marriage should be, I think. I think marriage can be beautiful. I think the idea of marriage can be beautiful. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to adhere to marriage. But marriage becoming a whole money thing has kind of ruined the idea of marriage. Just, Adamatone, just understand you're not going through this alone. You're not enduring this alone. I'm not dating anyone right now. I'm chill about it. I ain't dating anyone right now. I'm pretty fucking chill about it. I would like a relationship, but I want to find the person I can truly, genuinely be myself with and open up to, right? I want to find the right person, right? And while I have met a lot of wonderful people, I just haven't found someone that I want to be that person with. I recently just fucking hit 30. Most people will be like, you're fucking stupid. Why aren't you dating anyone? You're fucking 30s. Hey, fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah. Define love for yourself. All I'm doing is just giving you the guidelines. Define love for yourself. All I'm doing is giving you the guidelines. Just choose to accept and see your partner. Just choose to accept and see your partner for who they are. And if that doesn't align with you, if that doesn't work for you, then it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to continue it. It's okay. How to give a gift tutorial. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. We've already lost the sauce. What were we even talking about before? We've already lost the fucking sauce. What were we even talking about before this? Fuck. Like, okay, we were talking about how there's a lot of people here. And how the element of people influences. No. Don't you dare tell me the stream is down again. Shut the fuck up. I don't have a partner. That's why I asked. Well, don't worry about finding a partner. Just live your life and do what you want. And the partner will come to you in some ways. You'll find someone eventually. Right? And don't like try to always look because they might already be in front of you. Like, life is a mystery, dude. And don't just live life. Just live life and you might find, right? Your right hand is your best friend. Okay. We're one of those, are we? Anyways, so the whole theme of this arc is that the characters are literally surrounded by people. The characters are surrounded by people, and them being surrounded by people is the idea that their choices are actively being influenced by the people around them. Right? When Chizuru, here's a great example. When Chizuru asked this question, she was literally influenced by the child in front of her. When Chizuru asked the question, how many kids do you want? She was literally influenced by the kid right in front of her. Right? And when she asks it, what is the emphasis? The line around them. The people around them. Chizuru is kind of on a different wavelength than Kazuya here when she asked this question. They're supposed to be their most honest selves. Kazuya is supposed to be letting Chizuru fall in love with her. Chizuru is being super honest to a complete fault, in some sense, contrasted by her answers. She's looking for his answers. So when she asks these questions, she's being super, super honest, and she's challenging herself to be insanely honest. Kazuya, in contrast, wants to give the right answers, not to be honest, because he thinks being honest is not the right thing to do, because he thinks being honest will get him rejected. So they're two different sides of the extreme, not realizing the core issue here is the research. Get rid of the research. That's the fucking problem. The research is stopping you from communicating. It was a good crutch. It allowed you. It was a good crutch, right? Literally the Minnie and the investigation were good crutches because they allowed them to heal from their trauma. Now they've healed from their trauma. You need to get rid of the crutch and face what's right in front of you. You need to get rid of the copium. Right? That's pretty much it. Right? You use coping mechanisms. That's what it is. You use coping mechanisms to heal from your trauma. That's how, like, it is a necessary thing, right? You do need coping mechanisms when you're dealing with trauma. That's just a fact. But eventually you will need to let those things go. And now the characters have reached that point where, okay, they've healed enough. They can let go of these coping mechanisms. Chizuru, the investigation ended. Kazuya, time to let go of Minnie. You can't keep using her as a crutch. What is the sign in front of Kazuya? This? Oh, that's just the thing. That's just the ride. That's just the ride. I forgot what ride it was. I think it's the ride they're getting on. Where it? Oh, the Sonic. Hey, Sonic. Y'all see Sonic up here? My boy, I love Sonic. Sonic's great. But yeah. So this is about removing the crutch that is Minnie, because she cannot continue to influence this relationship. She cannot continue to be a part of this. She is family. She does matter. And maybe she can even stay, but this is not her relationship, and that needs to end, right? And I think people don't understand why Chizuru is seemingly cutting Minnie out. I just realized we started by reading this. Oops. Oops. We were supposed to be reading what other people say. Oops. Whoopsie. Oh man. Okay. Back to rating what other people say, I guess. Was there anything else you wanted me to elaborate on about what I was talking about? We'll get back to it in just a sec, I guess, but we can keep reading what keep reading what Mute said. In the second panel, making loud noises at night by dragging the suitcase or banging it around the house has become a social issue at foreign-operated guest houses. Oh yeah, he's right. He's right. In the opening pages, look at what Minnie's doing. She's banging her suitcases. It's making a whole bunch of noise. Isn't that fitting? Isn't that fitting? Minnie shows up banging her suitcases, causing a whole bunch of noise. Who does that mirror? It mirrors Kazuya with the vacuum. When Kazuya had the vacuum on, he has a whole bunch of noise, and he doesn't see what's right in front of him. He's too distracted by everything around him. In contrast to Chizuru, who sits in silence. Right? Oh, wait. 384. In 384, chapter starts with all this noise, and that noise is literally in Kazuya's head. Noise. Constant questions and not being able to understand what's going on. Silence. There's no sound. I'm curious what that doll is. That doll is Oda Nobunaga. That's literally here. Let's just pull it up. Wait, what? No, go to 387. This is Oda Nobunaga. I'll show you. It's the same hair. That's what it's supposed to be. She literally calls herself Oda Nobunaga. That's why she has that. Right? Here's another depiction. Right? He has the thing on his hair. This is, I believe, the doll they sell there cuz in an earlier post that Mute wrote, here, I'll pull it up. Without the mustache. It's not like exactly accurate, you know. But here, I'll pull up Mute's account, and he literally talked about it last week. There we go. He talks about Minnie in the very end here. Return to the castle was Yamori-san. The place she went to work for was Noguya, right? Miso katsu, a snack, Oda Nobunaga goods, and a golden shishako shirt are so blatantly Nagio that it's like no one's this much of a Nagio fan or Nagio native, right? The do probably refers to the Chuchi dragons, but it seems like they couldn't use CD or similar due to the copyright issues. Yeah, even Mute says this at the same time back then. She's lost in thought. What's with this guy? It seems like she's lost in thought about something since Chizuru herself seems to be feeling a bit hazy right now. Maybe she's wondering whether to consult with Yamori-san or just let it go. That's not actually what's going on. I actually disagree with that. I do agree with the initial take. But yeah, that's supposed to be Oda Nobunaga. Momotaro? But she's literally calls herself Oda. She literally calls herself Oda Nobunaga. Why would it be Momotaro? Whoever the fuck that's supposed to be. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. Momotaro. No, I don't see it. Yeah, it doesn't look the same. I don't see it. It definitely, I definitely see Oda when I look at that. Nah, got ya. Okay. So Minnie makes a whole bunch of loud noises as a mirror to Kazuya making a whole bunch of loud noises. Right? She's intentionally mirroring him. Was this deliberately depicted to show that such actions should not be done? There's an explanation in the cover illustration that Iomori's sons reconfirmed that Kazuya's day did not go well before entering the house. Isn't that interesting? So see, there's something we didn't know. That's a thing that happens in Japan that makes a whole bunch of noise and bothers people. And here is Minnie doing that exact same thing. Here's Minnie doing that exact same thing. Right? Here's Minnie literally doing that exact same thing, causing a whole bunch of ruckus and noise when she shouldn't be. Is it starting to isn't this adding up to what I said earlier? Isn't it starting to click? Oh, and what do we have that contrasted with? Minnie making a whole bunch of noise in the beginning of the chapter, right? Literally like Oda. Oda is loud. He's in your face. He literally does like all this shit, and he doesn't like plan ahead or wait until the last minute. He just does it, and he doesn't care who gets in his way. Oda causes a big ruckus. In fact, in Fate Grand Order, right? Like Fate Grand Order, this character, where they of course gender bent Oda Nobunaga, because why the fuck not? Right? Of course they gender bent Oda Nobunaga in Fate Grand Order. Like when you play the game, she's super fucking loud. She constantly causes chaos, and she genuinely kind of reminds me of Minnie. She is super fucking loud constantly, always in your face. Always in your face, constantly super fucking loud, and constantly just does whatever the fuck she wants. She doesn't plan ahead, and that always blows up in her face. Literally like Minnie. If anything, sometimes, like, everybody loves Oda, by the way, in this game. And sometimes they kind of find her a little obnoxious because she causes a lot of trouble. Just like Minnie. She literally mirrors Oda here. The very idea of who Oda is supposed to be. Oh, not yet. The cover illustration features Iomori's son dressed as a kunoichi with her familiar spiral marked headband. Right? It's Kazuya's headband, the spiral. In other words, an assassin sent by Kazuya to Chizuru Hime. Iomori's son begins investigating Chizuru's true feelings, except Kazuya didn't send Minnie. This is all a big illusion. Right? Chizuru Hime, right? Just like Chizuru is the moon princess, and Minnie is supposed to infiltrate and kill her. Right? But that's not what's happening. Right? That doesn't happen in this chapter, right? Minnie thinks she's like walking in, she's sneaking in, she's gonna catch Chizuru off guard, and she's gonna take her down. That doesn't happen. In fact, Minnie is the one who's constantly losing control. Chizuru is in complete control in this chapter. Minnie is the one, right? Minnie is the one who's just kind of going off and being confused. Right? She's supposed to be on a mission, and here she is screwing up the mission and not succeeding in any way or form. When Chizuru winks with one eye, it's a gesture she makes you think when she's lying, or rather speaking politely instead of her true feelings. She says, "By the way, but Sayora isn't something you buy. By the way, in twos." Wait, what? Okay, this is translated weird. Let's try deep L. When Chizuru meditates with one eye, it is a lie, or rather, a gesture she makes when she speaks in tentative manner rather than with her true intentions. She says, "By the way," but Akito fish is not something you buy to by the way. Oh. The fish Chizuru got is expensive. The fish Chizuru got is expensive. So you don't just buy that by the way. So you don't just, oh, by the way, I bought this. It doesn't add up. The food Chizuru got is not cheap. It's not just it's not something you buy two of by the way. It's because Chizuru was kind enough to cook it for me because we're going to end our living together tomorrow. In manga terms, we needed time to be alone together to have a conversation. Isn't that interesting? He interprets it as Chizuru is getting this big feast because their time alone is ending. Isn't that interesting? That he interprets it as their time together is ending. That's why Chizuru cooked this massive feast. But he doesn't catch how Chizuru lied. He literally notices how Chizuru is lying, but he doesn't notice what the lie is. Isn't that interesting? Again, I don't always agree with Mew, but him not noticing certain things points out how people are missing what's right in front of them. He's proving my point. When I was Chizuru's age, I never even thought about things like protein, dietary fibers, or minerals. As Yamori-san says, it expresses Chizuru's perfection. On the other hand, it also feels like she's so serious that she's lacking flexibility. Or, why would she think about protein, dietary fibers, and minerals for Minnie? That doesn't make much sense. It's almost like she didn't cook this for Minnie. It's almost like this fish, the thing Kazuya fucking likes, wasn't for Minnie. It's almost like Chizuru got this very specific fish that would taste really good and is pretty popular and maybe kind of expensive for a certain someone who likes fish and may notice this fish. When asked about her impression of the date, Chizuru maintains a shy expression afterward. Although Chizuru tries to act composed and says, I might like him but not enough to date, Iomori, on the other hand, calls it a major development, like making Chizuru realize the true meaning of like. Again, the illusion that Minnie is actually making some sort of difference when she's not. It seems unlike that Kazuya have been dumped would it seems unlikely that Kazuya, having been dumped, would rent Chizuru, but Chizuru thinks it's possible she might be rented to act like she's in a romantic relationship with Kazuya in front of Sumi? Wait, what? However, since she returns the ring, that thought might be contradictory. It's almost like it makes no fucking sense. It's almost like that thought, if you know about the kiss, makes no fucking sense because it's not fucking supposed to. Is there anything else? Was Chizuru's line, wasn't it? If Kazuya had told Yomori-san about the kiss, there's no way Yomori-san would have stayed silent this long. So it seems like she would have noticed. Even so, the fact that she asked Yomori-san suggests that her desires to know Kazuya's reaction got the better of her. We can kind of agree on that. Yes, I do agree on that. She wants to know, so that got the better of her. Let's see here. Kazuya's new residence has some tin roofing on the stairs, meant to shield from the rain, partially peeled off. It gives it quite a shabby impression, but in less than 335,000 yen in Tokyo, this is probably what you get. How much is 35,000 yen? That's like that sounds cheap as fuck, actually. To USD. 234 bucks. Oh my god, that is cheap. Oh wow, Kazuya is broke as shit. Oh man, Kazuya is broke as shit. That's only 234 bucks. Kazuya is broke as shit. Wow, that is probably lower in the USA. You're not getting a house or rental or anything for that much in the US. That's not happening ever. The lowest you're getting here in this country is like 600 bucks. And that's if you're lucky. That's if you're fucking lucky. And that's not even accounting for like the down payment, the first month and maybe the last month. Yeah, but for Kazuya, that's dirt cheap. And then again, nails down the fact that he's poor as dirt. Kazuya's poor as shit. The phrase kissing on impulse with a night view probably imagined a park, but even Yomori-san couldn't have imagined it happening inside a taxi. When I kissed, Kazuya was desperately trying to figure out the reason. When kissed, Kazuya was desperately trying to figure out the reason. But as time passed, it seems the reality of being kissed sank in. What will he talk about if Yamori-san contacts him here? Stay tuned for next time. Next time, what did you just say? I think it's a scene where Yamori-san, hearing I was kissed in a conversation with Kazuya, responds with, what did you just say? I really want Yamori-san to press him on why they're still not dating despite this. Maybe they are. Wait, why is Kazuya trending? Kazuya wasn't trending. Oh. Oh. Okay, it's not really trending. It's not really. And it's mostly Kazuya from Tekken. Makes a whole lot of sense. It's mostly Kazuya from Tekken. Beat him up. Beat Kazuya to death. Wait, what? What is this? I'm so confused. Oh, hey, Naruto. Okay, we're fine. If it's just Naruto, it's not a big deal. Cyber Demon Korea. 1,800 minimum rent where I live. You probably live in like New York or some shit, bro. Poor man probably lives in New York or some shit. What if lightning strikes his new apartment so he has to move back? Okay, let's just not have any external factors influencing them. That seems to be the repeating theme here. No external factors influencing their choices, okay? Let's get that out of the fucking way. Yeah, California, that sounds about right, dude. That sounds, as someone who's lived in California, that sounds about right. That place is, what the shit is their prices? What the crap is going on? Okay. Oh, I already have both of them. Okay, cool. So let's read this one from another Japanese fan. I didn't think it was him. I didn't think it was Kazuya from Winter Girlfriend. It looked like what was that show? It was that one where it's like it's pretty much the thing that inspired Squid Game. I forgot the name of the show. Reishi loves it. Have you been translating Reishi's Twitter Spaces? I had a friend who was supposedly doing it, but I guess they haven't. So I'm gonna record them all eventually and just put them through what is it? Google or not Google? Premiere Pro, which apparently has a translating as a feature where it transcribes. And I guess I'll try to do that. But there was supposed to be someone doing them, and they just never told me or anything. I know tomorrow. I think either tomorrow or the day after, Reiji is gonna be doing a stream for the Ruka event. So I have to get to bed like extra early to get up for that, so I can record that, I guess, and see what he says about the whole Ruka event. Anyways, it didn't work out. Welcome back. Nothing special. Blah 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 blah. Boo. Nobunaga baby doll. Okay, a Japanese fan just literally said it. It's a Nobunaga baby doll. What is ha? It's so loud, it's funny. Cover illustration. The princess on the enemy side, not on the side being protected. Lol. There aren't many choices left to hear Chizuru's welcome back. Chizuru is Miso Hanji, huh? What about Kazuya? Speaking of which, is it possible that they'll go to Kazuya's new place to give him souvenirs as an excuse? I could see Chizuru going because she's worried about Kazuya. And again, we had our whole theory that Chizuru might end up going to Kazuya's place. Suspicious face. Oh, they made 2 portions. It's been a while since since a portrait talk. Set meal. Did they make this on purpose? The miso soup didn't have tofu in it. It's the shame. Chizuru's meal review. Is this a streamer skill? Chizuru Parker is cute. It's no wonder she shines. I like Chizuru with amnesia. Bun Bun Yamori makes her first appearance. I wonder if Bun Bun Asami-chan will appear someday. Bun Bun? What are we talking about? Oh, buns. Chizuru still doesn't know where Kazuya lives. True. She could find a way to get it, though. Maybe Minnie knows. Minnie would be like, hey, what's his ad? Chizuru would just be like, what's Kazuya's address? Fucking tell me right now. I'll kill you. Tell me what his address is. A straightforward answer. Here comes the main topic. A straightforward answer. The tone's quite different from when she talks to Kazuya. For Mori, that's the surprising part. Chizuru is blushing when told this is very cute, but it doesn't end here. The sense of anticipation. That's Chizuru with her mysterious stopper. Chizuru blushing every time she confesses to being told sweet things. I knew it. Well, we can't underestimate Kazuya's feelings, I guess. This was the title of the previous preview. Chizuru can't help but be interested in Kazuya, smiling. She eats the last one quickly, huh? Chizuru is troublesome. If she keeps this up, she'll probably refuse again next time, but if she pushes her, she might give in. They kissed, huh? I see. After this, Kazuya will contact her and ask about the kiss, and then it'll be a re-entry into Chizuru's mind followed by the investigation or interrogation. Then the truth behind the kiss and the reason for her actions will be revealed. I guess Chizuru's refusal was meant to be a conclusion or a break in the investigation. By refusing here and drawing a line, she intends to move forward with that mindset. Right? She refused and drew a very clear line with Minnie here. You can't know more. That's Chizuru's rational stance. However, the irrational part of her has emerged this time. She reacts when asked if she might like him, confesses her embarrassment when she's told she likes him, and becomes curious about the interactions between Kazuya and Yamori. Well, if she reacts to this much, it's undeniably love, from an outsider's perspective. But she hasn't been able to analyze that instinct reaction or fully confront it yet. She has. Right, she has. I genuinely believe Chizuru completely knows she's in love here. I genuinely believe Chizuru fucking knows that. If I genuinely disagree with anyone who says Chizuru is not in love here, she knows she's in love. She fucking knows she's committing to this. She is in a relationship with him. She wants to fucking marry this dude. Like, she knows she's in love. That's not anything other than love. So, no, I disagree that Chizuru doesn't know she's in love here. She knows. She fell in love that night. Because she's unaware of her unconscious reaction, she's trying to find other evidence, but she's not fully convinced. Nope, don't agree with that. This creates a big gap between reason and instinct, and the gap is the source of her frustration. What I find enjoyable about her frustration is that even though she tries to think rationally, she keeps thinking about intrinsic things. And it's clear that she's interested in or even likes those intrinsic things. So I hope Chizuru continues to struggle with the gap and indulge in her frustration to the fullest. Of course, I hope the gap will eventually be filled. Then I think they'll lead to a different kind of amusing development. The preview title is what did you just say? It's probably Yamori who heard about the kiss. After hearing that, she'll probably confront Chizuru right away, but in the end, what is the kiss for Chizuru? Based on the previous conversation, it's action driven by instinct. So the rational response would be, I don't really know. I don't think so. Trying to understand that I don't really know is the first step of closing the gap. So no, I don't agree with this. I don't think that's what... I generally don't think the next time will be what we think it is. It may appear like it, but it won't be. Hey, Johan, did you say the DM I sent you, Chizuru cat eyes figured that and Kazuya nervous face? I'm pretty sure someone in a Discord I'm in created that initially. Yeah, this is from a Discord I'm in. Someone already created this. Yeah, I know about this. If this is what you sent. Yeah, someone made these. These are custom. Johan, you need Kanokari stickers in your Discord. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. Are you kidding? I need to do stuff for my Patreon. I need to do stuff for my Discord. Like, there's a lot. There is a lot that I need to fucking do. And I don't even know where to start with that. They look very good. Yes, they look cute. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd have to sit down and research stickers and how to make them and to do all that stuff, you know? So, why don't you guys like make me a list? Why don't you guys make me like a list? Megan, but not the stallion. That's good. That's good, bro. That's pretty fucking good. Okay, let's go. I'll read like 2 or 3 comments on Reddit. I'm not in the mood. Oh, here we go. Here we go. People, man, my disappointment in people are immeasurable lately. This is why I don't fucking go to Reddit. People just seem so stupid. Like, is Chizuru a confirmed jerk after all? I think someone sent me something, right? Someone sent me this. She's emotionally out of tune with herself. She doesn't know how she feels. No. Drop a rent-a-girlfriend guideline. How to read rent-a-girlfriend. I'm not even gonna read this comment. But like she's not emotionally out of tune with herself. I think Chizuru is actually more in tune with herself than she has literally ever been. Her actions are more consistent with herself than they have literally ever been. She is literally her truest, most honest self. There are no more masks. This is the absolute true Chizuru. And if the curtain does not tell you this, the fact that she willingly took the curtain down herself does not tell you this, I don't know what does. I don't know what does. Okay, we're going to go to the serious discussion. Why is this one highlighted? Are they like this? Fancy dirt girlfriend, wise grandma. She's in denial. I'm not reading this. I'm not. Are you kidding me? She's not in denial. I'm not reading that. Please, if you disagree with me on why I'm not reading this, please let me know. I'm not reading that. I don't need to read a whole thing just to disagree with that. You know what my fucking stance is. Why do I need to read all that? Despite all this, do you still want me to read it? I'm just gonna ask chat. I'm part of this is somewhat your entertainment. So if you still want me to read it, I'll read it. Okay, one person wants me to read it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not that it's bad. I just disagree with the analysis. That's it. Initial premise is flawed. Move on. No, please don't. Nah. Okay, so 3 people have wanted me to move on. Only Toby wants me to stay. We need a tiebreaker. Or not a tiebreaker. One more and I'll decide. Verka's clone wannabes. Oh my god, brutal. Unnecessarily brutal. I see a huge portion why I don't really want to read this. A huge reason why I don't really want to read this is simply this. Reddit is completely floating around the hatred right now, and they're convinced that Chizuru is in denial. Which is very, very ironic because Reiji intentionally recreates the... Reiji intentionally it creates this scene exactly like the 3-month time skip, where, wait for it, Chizuru was in fact in denial. So why create a scene and intentionally flip it on its head and be like, hey, look, this isn't like that scene. Almost like she's not in fucking denial. Right? To me, the moment I read that, it immediately told me, oh, like you're literally seeing what you want to see. Reiji got you. Reiji's playing us, okay? He's playing us. If you genuinely believe she's in denial, you fell for it. Legit, you fell for it. You fell for the mask. He intentionally gave you context. He gave you the tool to figure it out. And if you still choose to believe she's in denial, you fucking fell for it. Congrats, he played you like a goddamn fiddle. Okay. 1 equals move on, 2 equals read. So I've had 1 read, 2 read. How many move-ons do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or what's 1 more? I don't know what 1 more is. Actually, that's not 5. So 4. 5. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of 1s, dude. I'm seeing a lot of 1s. I think people just don't want me to read this. I'm pretty sure as a mod you can do polls. Oh, how do I do polls? How do I do a poll? I want to know how to do a poll. How do you do polls?
Community moderation, participation. Moderation, pop out chat. How do you do a poll? Engage with the audience. Start a poll. Read or not. Okay. Start poll. Perfect. Hey, let's go. I made a poll. Let me know. Oh man. Oh, that's a so wait, is this to read it or to not read it? Read or not? No. Okay. $14 votes. 17 votes. Okay. I think the stream is trolling Fate. Who cares? So we're stuck at 18 votes. It sounds like people want me to read it. Sure. Whatever. I'll read it. I may disagree with it heavily, but let's read it. That's why her actions, her words don't match up. Right? So if you believe her actions and words don't match up, it must mean she's in denial. Or that's not true. She let's see. She has no idea how to respond to her feelings and how to rationalize the fact that she kissed him out of nowhere, so she's ignoring it, or trying to at least. Disagree. She's still stuck to the story of I might be in love with him, but not enough to date him. He's better off if I cut ties with him to move on staying along. That doesn't make sense with the kiss. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. She knows for a fact that she kissed him. She also knows that that's the very definition of stringing him along. She knows that the story doesn't hold up to scrutiny, so she's running away. Chizuru, of all people, who literally chose rejection, knowing how much it would fucking hurt, is running away. That person, the person who literally said, I'm rejecting you. We can't be together. It's not right. Is running away. What? I'm sorry. If this is the most blatant, I don't understand this character I've ever read, I don't know what fucking is. This is all very cruel to Kazuya. Minnie calls her out on this directly. Minnie isn't calling her out. Well, okay. What Minnie says there is correct. I will say this. What Minnie says there is correct. It is cruel. The kiss reverses that entire sequence. The kiss reverses all of that. The kiss changes all of that. The meaning of that kiss completely reverses that entire sequence. And Chizuru knew it wasn't right. She already knew that. Basically, Minnie is saying what the audience is saying, not realizing they already went through this. Kazuya and Chizuru already went through it. Chizuru already knew how bad it was. She hated herself for that choice. She knew that asking him to give up is just not right. The more you invest, the harder it is to let go. A cute apology and cut it. The cute apology, a direct reference to the 3-month time skip where Chizuru literally gives him a cute gift with ribbons on it and says sorry. It's literally by design her referencing the 3-month time skip. She's literally referencing the 3-month time skip. This is what this is talking about. Straight up. And that's where Minnie's wrong, because she's seeing the 3-month time skip she's not seeing right now. Because if Minnie turned around for a second and actually saw Chizuru, she'd realize what's going on isn't right. And even she's starting to pick up on the fact that she's being weird. This isn't adding up. So all the people who are mad at Chizuru and starting to hate her, you're right. What she's doing is terrible. She's being selfish, cold, and unreliable. Her pretense of doing what's best for Kazuya is in reality making it worse. She's a broken person flailing around helplessly, dragging people down around her. I cannot wait for Reiji to show people how fucking stupid they were. I cannot wait.
I will relish this. I will take so much fucking joy in when Reiji pulls the rug and be like, you bitches are blind. You bitches cannot fucking see. I cannot wait for him to utterly roast people. Just actually just shatter their fucking galaxy. Just literally just glass shattering. They're literally the illusion just blowing up in their fucking face. That's what I think. I cannot wait for him to do this. I love it. It's such an interesting story and a real raw way of someone like her to react, except that's your illusion of who Chizuru is. That's not Chizuru. It's a story. This isn't real life. They're not real people. I can be mad at Chizuru and think she's doing horrible things and still root for her. I despise this reasoning. I despise this reasoning because it intentionally frames it as though Chizuru is a bad person, but because it's a story, it's okay to root for her. When this story actively, intentionally puts itself in the real world, actively tells you to empathize and connect to people, not to disassociate by saying this is fiction. You can do that. You can like bad people in a story. I like Mommy. Mommy does terrible shit in this story. I like Mommy still, right? But this isn't it, dude. This argument is literally trying to justify your stance for why you like a character. What this person to me is doing, in my opinion, is that they're addressing Chizuru as a bad person and still choosing to like her because it's how they can justify to themselves that they have a right to like Chizuru by addressing the haters. This is to me what you're doing here. Not actually seeing and acknowledging Chizuru's character despite the hatred. Seeing who she is no matter what other people say. That to me is the problem with this argument. This is the same exact argument that people use to justify depicting violence against Chizuru's character because she's a fictional character. It's not real life. It's okay to do this. It's that element of it's okay to feel the way I do because it's fictional. And rather, in so doing, disassociating an element of humanity from the characters. I fundamentally dislike this argument because fiction is a part of reality. And literally, in reality, people do still like terrible people. And when you like something about a character, you like that about them because there is a real emotional connection there, despite the fact that it is fiction. Which to me is frustrating. I despise this argument that it is fiction, therefore it's okay for me to like it. As fiction can be escape, but the feeling and connection you form through fiction is real. And so to try and separate it in such a way, to me, removes the meaning and intention behind this story and why it's being depicted to you the way that it is. That's why I can never agree with this argument. I despise it utterly and truly. I can never agree with this argument because it fundamentally tries to separate two things that are part of a greater whole in order to justify you liking something. I will always defend Chizuru because I'm not seeing the hatred or the anger or the things I want. What is it? Or the things that like I perceive as bad. Rather, I'm seeing who the actual person is. I'm choosing to see who the actual person is, not who she appears to be. And considering that seems to be the theme of this current arc, I think it's almost a challenge from Reiji to the Raiders. A, start looking at the characters or shit's gonna fucking hit you like a sledgehammer to the knees. Anyways, I think Kazuya is an idiot for falling in love with someone like this and I feel his pain and still hope that they end up happily married. What I can't do is offer advice to them or tell Kazuya to give up someone so hopeless or yell at Chizuru to stop being so wishy-washy. It's fiction. All I can do is observe. This actually feels genuinely cynical. Remember that video we watched before? Remember that video we watched before where that person was talking? It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that same cynicism, acting like you understand the story when you're choosing to see it how you want to see it. That, to me, is what I'm seeing here. Acting like you understand the story, but you still love it and care for it, but then you call the character stupid and idiotic, but I'm just an observer. I just observe and commentate and call them fools. When in reality, it just feels more cruel than the actual story itself, and I think that's genuinely fascinating. Yes, it's infuriating. It's also heartbreaking and fascinating and relatable and so many other things. That's what makes it so good. I want stories to make me feel things. And for me personally, I can see how much these two idiots care about each other. And now it feels genuine. Now it's actually starting to feel genuine. Through all their disasters and terrible decisions, there's so much love. I want love to win out in the end. I want to believe that broken, desperate people can find love too. I want them to work through all their problems and find happiness with each other. And through all their messiness and happens between now and then, I'm here for it. God, I love this manga. See you guys next week. I think to me, the best way I can describe what I just read here is a clash of what you're observing versus what you're actually experiencing. I think that's the best way I can put it. It's a clash between what you're observing and what you think you're understanding versus what you're actually experiencing. And that clash highlights the fundamental problem of this thing that we just read. That he knows better and he sees how much love there is in this story, but that's contrasted by how he's perceiving Chizuru's actions and how they appear to him, right? How they appear to him in contrast to what he's actually seeing and what he has experienced up until this point. And in so doing, it's stopping him from genuinely seeing what the story has to say. And that's just, in my opinion, kind of sad. I don't think this person's bad or a terrible person. I just fundamentally disagree with their analysis. That's all. Okay? So please don't be rude. I do have to clarify that. I always have to. What should I read? Empty Glimmer? Oh, I was kind of close, huh? Minnie kind of slow playthings. This is the one to bring the date, but she isn't overbearing about it. Interesting to go from the boyfriend and the kiss to my girlfriend and the kiss. So we said this last time. The actual title is The Boyfriend and the Kiss. This one is The Girlfriend and That Kiss. There's a sono in there. It's a very specific this kiss, not just any other kiss. Let's see. After Paradise, it was the girlfriend and the kiss. The slight my versus the distinction may be telling. It's not my. No. You're misreading. There's no possessive. There's no possessive. Empty Glimmer. If you do eventually watch this, there's no possessive. There's no my. My was always in there because of the volume translations. So the K manga translations stick with that continuity, right? That's the problem. If you go back to the original series from the beginning with the volume translations, here I'll just show you right now. I have the conveniently I have the volume right next to me. No, look at the name. My Two Girlfriends. This is from the volumes. The title is just The Two Girlfriends, not My Two Girlfriends. The Two. That's it. There's no possessive. None of the titles have possessives. There's no possessives in the titles. They always add possessives in there because the people who are doing the volume translations are stupid. But unfortunately, K-manga doesn't have a choice but to stick with that continuity. That's just the issue. They don't have a choice but to stick with the continuity. And see, you can see it right here. My Girlfriend and the Chicken. There's no my in there. There's no possessive. They do this every time, and it's so fucking irritating. And so, again, the K-manga translations have to stick with it. What is different is that kiss. That's what makes it different. I love that Minnie fights off thinking the worst about Chizuru. There isn't a knockdown. There isn't a knockdown, drag out fight. Well, yet it is good in my opinion that Minnie admits to knowing a little bit about what happened. Chizuru does not fight off thinking the worst of Minnie. She's extremely guarded and feeding her bullshit. Those eyes closed statements need to be taken with a boulder of salt. Chizuru thinks that this is the right thing to do, but it isn't what she wants. No, this is definitely what Chizuru wants. She is very certain about this choice. She is 100% certain about this choice. So I'm low-key glued to the screen wondering if Johan will get my analysis on the thread. Just tell me what it is and I'll find it. Just tell me what it is, I'll find it. List your fucking shit here. And I'm going to end the poll. List your fucking shit here so I can go find it. Next Johan stream, hopefully Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. I don't know when it will be. I'm not going to guarantee anything to you guys. I don't know when it will be. Easy to imagine that Chizuru may be disappointed that Kazuya already talked to Minnie about the date. She's already got some complicated feelings about Minnie and Kazuya's relationship. So mention that she knows anything about it probably puts Chizuru on the defensive. Again, it was the right thing to do, though. Chizuru admits to telling Kazuya that she thinks she loves him. Minnie thinks that's massive. It must have made Master so happy. He was like 5 seconds. I'm having a flashback to the whiplash. Chizuru says what she thinks she should do to cut it off. Stop stringing him along. Again, isn't it interesting that Chizuru started Here's the best clue to you guys. Here is the best clue to you guys. Chizuru does what she wanted to do when she kissed him. Here, she's talking about what she should do. Almost as if that's a complete contrast from what she did earlier. That now she's acting on what she wants to do and not what she should do. Okay. Unpopular eye in the thread. Okay. The look on Chizuru's face when she says, he said that he still loves me in my heart. She's in love with that boy. It's so cute. Anyways, Minnie keeps pushing and Chizuru's curiosity gets the better of her. Did he tell Minnie anything else? One assumes that if texted Minnie about the kiss, Minnie would have been screaming about it from the jump, but Chizuru wanted to make sure. Minnie being in Kazuya's pocket is annoying for Chizuru, but it could be useful. Chizuru is desperate to know what's going on in Kazuya's head. She makes a quick escape to avoid further questions, and now everyone is confused. Minnie seems to have realized that something happened after the text exchange with Kazuya. She reads that Chizuru is acting weird and reaches out to Master for an update. They should have kissed last night, thought, lol. If she only knew, maybe she will soon. Good chance that Kazuya is too stuck in his head to notice the text alert, but who knows? Our little found family is in an interesting place. Kazuya thinks the best of both Chizuru and Minnie. Minnie now thinks the best of both Chizuru and Kazuya. Chizuru thinks the best of Kazuya, but not quite there yet with Minnie. Oh no, she likes Minnie. No, she likes Minnie. Chizuru actually knows Minnie pretty well at this point. I think Chizuru is very familiar with Minnie's song and dance, but she's removing Minnie from the equation. Can't really tell what the next step is going to be from here. The next chapter ending with Kazuya makes me think he'll be the focus. I agree. You could imagine the text from Minnie snapping Kazuya into action. Depending on how words things, she might think he needs to race over to break a fight. Could be. You could also see him texting Chizuru to apologize for Minnie giving her the third degree, opening up the vital line of communication. Kazuya needs to do two things as soon as possible. One, make it clear that Chizuru that he's already makes him just deliriously happy. And B, ask the big question. Is pushing him away what she actually wants or just what she thinks is right? No, Kazuya needs to start asking every single question that he wants to ask, not just the big question. If he gets a full report from Minnie, he might have a clue about point B. Hell, if he tells Minnie about the kiss, we might be in a real Minnie Chizuru fight that might have to have a race over to break up low. I'm not 100% sure convinced that Minnie is going to be going concerned as part of a couple after the point. I could also easily buy Chizuru and Minnie out. So, okay, I'm going to come back to my original guess. Some people said, and I kind of somewhat agree, Kazuya looks really sleepy. Kazuya looks dreamlike and kind of sleepy. And he looks a little out of it. Maybe he might fall asleep. And maybe he doesn't respond to Minnie. And I could see what did you just say being Chizuru again. Because Chizuru's like, what do you mean he didn't respond? And Chizuru freaks out and runs over to him as a mirror, as a flip of the 3-month time skip. So Chizuru freaks out that Kazuya isn't texting. Maybe something is wrong. And I could see Chizuru getting maybe worried about that. We didn't say anything. It flips it. It looks like Kazuya is ghosting her, but he's not. And maybe Chizuru gets worried. Something happens. She wants to know, so she runs over to him. That could be what's happening. Kazuya goes to sleep. They go to check on him, practically sweating his apartment while he's asleep, and he wakes up. Boom, the conversation. It would be so awesome if Chizuru like runs to him. That Kazuya falls asleep. It's the reverse of the ghosting, but Chizuru runs to him instead of being afraid. She's like, maybe she doesn't assume he's ghosting her. She assumes something wrong happened, which would be so perfect to highlight to you how Chizuru doesn't think he's ghosting her. That she believes he accepts her completely. So she goes worried that something happened, not that he's ghosting her. She sees the truth. God tier. Immediately shut the people up. Or they misinterpret it as, oh, see, the fear got to Chizuru. That's why she ran there. She cares about him so much she did that first. Oh, man, now I kind of don't want that to happen. Shit. Because people will assume, oh yeah, see, she got scared. That's why she did it. Damn it. Damn it. Now I'm kind of worried about that. I don't know. Reiji will figure it out. Kazuya got sick? I don't think so. I don't care how the haters spin it. A good plot is a good plot. It's a birdie edge sword. A what sword? Can't win, huh? Reiji will find a way. I mean, we're already losing, so Reiji will find a way. The running of the long cliches from a romantic comedy ever. We'll see. Okay, let's see. What was yours, Goku? Or GB Baku, sorry. Unpopular eye in the thread, GB Baku. I called you Goku. Oh, they highlighted you. How interesting. From the first time I read this chapter, and a lot of people focus on Chizuru mentioning how Kazuya may rent her again, but we really need to consider Chizuru and Minnie's relationship here. Minnie is someone who has always puts a lot of pressure on Chizuru. She keeps telling Chizuru she loves Kazuya, then they should just kiss. Even poisoning said hypothetical kiss with a sentence if it happened. And there was the time where she went to Chizuru's bathtub when she clearly didn't want her to. To Chizuru, Minnie is not her ally, but rather Kazuya's ally. A lot of people would even project their frustration of Minnie on Kazuya. Yet at least we haven't seen Chizuru do that. She took the investigation more seriously. With that in mind, we can safely disregard whatever Chizuru tells Minnie. She tells her to keep being Kazuya's friend. She doesn't tell Minnie. She wants her to keep being Kazuya's friend. She doesn't tell Minnie to mind her business, but they haven't established a relationship where Chizuru can open up to Minnie. So I don't know why people expect her to. If you were feeling hopeful after Chizuru and Kazuya kissed, then Chizuru telling Minnie what she did in this chapter should mean nothing to you. So if what Chizuru talked about wasn't the point of the chapter, what was? It was 3 p.m. when Kazuya left in the taxi. It's almost 8 p.m. now. We found out in the chapter that Chizuru has carefully applied makeup despite not going out. Oh shit, you're right! I totally forgot about that. Shit, I never mentioned that. Fuck me. God damn it, you're right. You're right, Minnie notices that. Damn it, I missed that. She's attractive and very beauticious place. She's great at cooking. She seems like she'd be an amazing wife and a wise mother. Her makeup looks natural, even in the clothes she wears around the house and makes her shine. Damn it. You got something on me. Damn it. Damn it. I totally forgot that. She actually put makeup on. I totally forgot that. Fuck. Damn, bro, you got me. We found out the chapter after Chizuru carefully applied makeup despite not going out and made dinner with multiple dishes, including miso soup and a fish dish. For those, I believe we were shown she was waiting for Kazuya to return, and I anticipated it. And anticipated it. She told Minnie she made it for her, but I don't trust her words in this chapter due to the reasons outlined above. If miso soup isn't suspicious, recall how one of her answers of what kind of proposal she would like would be the guy asking her to make miso soup for him every morning. Granted, it's a cheap food that she makes often, but was also the fish dish. I don't think that was just the spur of the moment dinner idea. She has put a lot of care into it, which we get a glimpse of into what she explains her choice for Minnie. And yes, this was the point of Minnie having a panel about acknowledging how attractive Chizuru is looking. It has a point now. As usual, we can also consider the fact that in chapter 384 she said Minnie is leaving tomorrow, which might mean she didn't expect her to arrive this evening. This isn't confirmed, though, as nothing was said about when she would arrive to pack up. Pretty much what I said. I agree with that completely. Pretty much what I said. I heard in another thread, a lot of people say something along the lines that hope Kazuya tells Minnie about the kiss, and Minnie rips Chizuru apart. I honestly believe that wouldn't achieve anything. It would just reinforce the idea that Minnie isn't a friend to Chizuru she can't open up to. She could tell her anything in that scenario that she hasn't before, or anything that Chizuru doesn't already know. The friendship wouldn't evolve that way either. And if you read the cohabitation arc carefully, whenever Minnie forced an interaction, it never went well. Fucking, what's the word I was gonna say? Speak, bro. Speak. Speak, bro. Preach. Preach, my friend. Whenever Minnie forced an interaction, it never went well. Kazuya accidentally falling into Chizuru's lead to a better moment than Minnie. Kazuya accidentally falling onto Chizuru leads to a better moment than Minnie orchestrating them playing Twister. Yes, agree there, 100%. When Kaze complimented Chizuru's swimsuit at Hawaiians, it's a great deal with a fish reference. Chizuru laughed and had a time of her life. When Kazuya followed Minnie's advice to call her cute, Chizuru was apprehensive about it, finding it weird. What Minnie needs to do now, in my opinion, is stay out of it. Chizuru can handle it from here if he just confronts her again. Chizuru is waiting after all. Continue in the comment. So pretty much we came to the same conclusion. Considering how Chizuru was talking about lovers having infinite time, interestingly, this thing with the compliment about Chizuru's swimsuit, I actually made that analysis too in one of my writings. I didn't put it out, but I made that same exact analysis in one of my writings. I don't know if I wrote it on Twitter at some point, but I did. I wrote it in the writing, not on Twitter. I don't know if I wrote it on Twitter. Okay, cool. Considering how Chizuru was talking about lovers having infinite time, it's fitting that after feeling the time pressure of Kazuya moving and Kazuya reassuring Chizuru she has infinite time, she would feel love. Her kiss in chapter 395 was the answer. Minnie is also another form of time pressure. She is like the audience in wanting development and wanting it now. Finally, I'd like to offer an alternative way to interpret the panel where she talks about Kazuya renting her again. She wouldn't tell Minnie this out loud, but in the name of no stringing along, she could be worried about him attempting to rent her again, and she might be planning to become his real girlfriend by that time, so he wouldn't rent her again. Oh, that's another way to interpret it. She's telling Minnie this, that she won't string him along. Don't do this. Don't do this, Kazuya, just in case Minnie happens to say this to him, right? We should see if this is the case relatively soon. A big thing you'll notice with Chizuru's arguments is that all of them are impartial in nature or literally intentionally talk about exactly what she wants to do. No stringing along, impartial, never going to happen, right? All of them intentionally are at Minnie and what Minnie wants and what Minnie may say. But in the name of string along, she could be worried about him attempting to rent her again, and she might be planning to become his real girlfriend by that time, so he wouldn't rent her again. We should see if this is the case relatively soon, as Kazuya's birthday is coming up. His family will have a party, and they will expect Chizuru there. We will see by then if Kazuya will rent her again or not. But my money says no. Kazuya would sooner tell the family they broke up, which might not be something Chizuru would let him do. That would make the birthday party another real date. If Chizuru does appear with this event coming up, even if Chizuru won't go talk to Chizuru by himself, although he should, this will be forced to talk again. Is this your comment, Bacon? Is this what you want me to read? I think a lot of people are unjustified in feeling frustrated with Chizuru for not telling Minnie that she kissed Kazuya right after he left. It's none of her business. And it's for the people frustrated at Kazuya for not going to Chizuru and asking her about the kiss and clearing things up right away. Throughout the story, before Kazuya makes the right choice and does the thing we all want him to do, he either reaches a low point or so overstimulated, thinking wise that he can't act. He's within the latter right now. Props to Minnie for not scolding Chizuru. The dinner she prepared for Minnie was originally meant for Kazuya, although he didn't show up. Again, Minnie unintentionally stealing experiences from the two main romantic leads. Okay, so the Humble Cuts is just saying what I was. Wait, is this? Oh, Humble Cuts. Is this Jorg? This is Jorg, right? You were just saying what I was saying. You did partially influence me. Not my first time here, but glad you also gained value from a comment about the makeup thing. Oh yeah, that was good. You fucking got me there. That was good. Yeah, you totally got me there. I completely agree with that. I can't believe I didn't fucking catch I didn't catch the makeup, bro. How did I miss that? How did I fucking miss that? You totally got me. We really have to understand Chizuru's behavior. Watch how slowly she starts to change, especially during the full conversation scene. This also important hint was the title of the chapter. Look closely at Chizuru and her chopsticks. She kisses the chopsticks. In her thoughts, she imagines Kazuya. There's something many readers miss. She's not just eating; she's thinking about the kiss. The moment reflects how deeply she's starting to feel something for him. Also, at the beginning, Chizuru lies or hides something. She says that she didn't know Minnie was coming, but that's not true. In the previous chapter, she said Minnie was moving out tomorrow, but there was no mention of Minnie. Why do you always misspell Minnie as Mimi? You put it's not double M, it's Mini. You're misspelling it always. The Chizuru was hoping Kazuya would come back to Minnie. That's why she made food for two people. You really have to understand the manga deeply to see this, but not just read the surface. Most people see only drama or bad signs, but actually the author is showing the opposite through Chizuru's subtle actions. If you want, I can send you a link where I explain the detail, because too many readers are just blah blah blah. Of course, please send this link you're talking about, then I can read through it, summarize it. Yeah, she's kissing the chopsticks. I said this there too. Let's see. I think I'll read Verkez. And yeah, you always spell it as Mimi. It's Minnie. Minnie, like tiny. Oh, did Verkez not write anything? That's surprising. I'm actually kind of surprised Verkez didn't write anything. Wow. All right. I guess we won't read another comment. I have no interest. He's on vacation? Ah, understandable. Understandable. Oh. 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 How long have you been streaming? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. So I'll maybe stop at around 3 hours. I think that'll be a good place to stop. Bekas is on holiday. Bekas said last week they're not going to be here for this one. You can also just put Yamori. Yeah, Yamori would be... Hey, Jorg, if it's easier for you, maybe put Yamori. That might be easier to translate. We should rush Verkez home like Chizuru might rush Kazuya. No, it's cool. Verkez has kind of been like... Verkez lately has kind of like dialed down his analysis from what I've noticed. Like he's just kind of like not worrying about it too much. He's very confident in his theory, which he's not. Which I don't completely disagree with. I think there's parts of the theory that he says that are completely correct. But I think he's just kind of taking a small break. Okay, so let's read my thread, shall we? Let's read my thread, shall we? Protecting a precious truth with a lie. Chizuru in this week's chapter actually mirrors chapter 301 when she speaks of her ideal proposal. I said marriage, it's supposed to be proposal. It's specifically her ideal proposal. And like, come on, look at these two. They look exactly identical. Here she makes a big feast for two. She's perfect. She has makeup. She makes an amazing feast. She dressed up. And it's actually all for Kazuya, not Minnie. Okay. Yeah, I included the makeup. Since I forgot it. You are correct. I included the makeup. Minnie came back when Chizuru was expecting Kazuya. Minnie monologues and commentates on Chizuru's food and looks instead of Kazuya. Wait, I actually... Well, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. I didn't mention the makeup. That doesn't count. Doesn't count. Nope. Minnie asks for answers instead of Kazuya. She's him in this instance, and she is in the dark about it all. She's literally shadowed. She's perfect as usual. To Minnie, she appears as usual. That's a very important line. As usual. It seems normal. It's not. But these answers aren't for Minnie. Period. Or maybe not yet. Who knows? Chizuru does not define the relationship and intentionally avoids going into detail about things. She closes her eyes for most of this, but the one time it comes out is in the end. Chizuru isn't putting up a wall here. It's actually the opposite. It's literally down like the curtain. When Minnie starts her usual prying, like literally, prying eyes, it couldn't be any more in your fucking face. Minnie's goddamn prying, getting into her bullshit. Chizuru knows this song and dance. Her face literally screams, "Here we go. Here we go again." Oh boy, let's do this. That's literally the vibe I'm getting from Chizuru. It's like, here we go again. She says, "Let's eat first." Yeah, Chizuru knows this song and dance. So she says, "Let's eat first." Here, she half lies. One eye closed, one eye open. She says she heard she was coming back today and made food for two. But that doesn't make sense. Who told her? Kazuya didn't. She didn't know. This isn't for Minnie. The feast is massive, right? Why did Chizuru make so much? It doesn't add up. It's like she was trying to impress someone. A certain orange-haired goof, maybe. This meal literally represents her love and desire. You can see it in how she talks about it. She poured her heart out. And like, listen to what Minnie says. It's Pacific Sayuri. Sayuri, right? So Pacific Sayuri with meat and potatoes. This isn't cheap. She made Pacific Sayuri, like this big fish, which is not cheap apparently, according to Mute. She made meat and potatoes. Meat is not cheap. Potatoes kind of are. And then she has spinach and miso soup. Right? Chizuru made a lot. And we know Chizuru doesn't have a whole lot of money. So why make so much? I had been longing for the taste of Tokyo again. You were only there for one night though, right? Wow, so good. The outside has such a nice crunch. I'd never think the inside was this tender. It's almost like Chizuru wanted to get this right. The sayuri smell and rich flavor mix with every bite. It's like a savory, packed creme brulee. It reminds her of a creme brulee. Chizuru just says, the Pacific sayuri has an unsaturated fats that are good for your skin, but it's mostly protein. That's why I added spinach and seaweed to help get better fiber and minerals. It's almost like she's trying to give energy and trying to heal and help to make someone feel better. Why would she do that for Minnie? Why would she do that for Minnie? It doesn't add up. Who is the one who's gone through a lot lately? That's why she doesn't react to Minnie's comments, because to Minnie, it's not a big deal. But Chizuru does talk about the effort she put in to explain that. Wow. Minnie just stares, blushes. Wow. It's like she's seducing me. Look at Minnie. Blush. She's in a daze. What does this look like? What does this look like? I hope this look Minnie shows here looks familiar to you. Do you see the similarities? It literally looks like Kazuya. It straight up looks like Kazuya. She's in a daze. Wow. She's magical. So perfect. She's perfect as usual. The feast is massive, celebratory. Why did Chizuru make so much? It doesn't add up, right? The meal was for Kazuya. She wanted him to eat her cooking. She wanted him to see how much she loved him. She wanted him to have everything and then some. And when she eats, there's this constant focus on the chopsticks being near her mouth. It's the kiss. She's literally indulging in her love. But Master said it didn't work out. Would someone normally prepare such a big meal right after rejecting someone? Is she not very fazed by what happened? Or did she not actually reject him? Minnie never comes to this conclusion because she doesn't know about the kiss. She doesn't know what happened. Maybe she just felt really bad about it and put in a lot of effort. Chizuru-san of all people isn't like that. The makeup detail glowed to me because of the haters on Reddit bashing that panel where Minnie complimented her a lot, calling it meaningless without thinking about it for a few seconds. So credit to the haters? Maybe. I mean, to be fair, I did the same exact thing. Like, a lot of people, like, the things in the story, whenever Kazuya compliments Chizuru, they always actually serve a purpose. Just as when the people are complimenting the Chizuru, it always serves a purpose more than just pointing out the girls are cute. And that's just the initial premise. That's the initial idea. Doing that is initially effective to nail that idea in. Oh, look, the girl is cute. Constantly being reminded she's cute is literally reflective of how those things influence people. That when you're constantly told something, you eventually believe it too. And a lot of people get stuck in that idea, that influence of how other people say things, and we act on that. So in a sense, Reishi has this like meta idea with the readers, where when he shows these people, some people get frustrated by that, reflecting their individuality, and some people kind of go with the flow with that, reflecting the fact that they fall into line with these things too. She'll probably ask Minnie to drop off some leftovers, and me will politely tell her she doesn't work for Uber Eats. That doesn't sound like Chizuru. That doesn't sound right. Okay. And when she eats, there's a constant focus on the chopsticks being near her mouth. She's literally indulging in her love. Right? This chapter is called That Kiss and the Girlfriend. And the kiss is never once brought up. Isn't that interesting? The kiss is never once brought up. And yet, what is the constant thing we continue to see? The chopsticks touching Chizuru's lips. Every bite is a reminder of the kiss. Every moment the chopsticks are near her mouth, it's the kiss all over again. Chizuru is literally tasting her love in that moment. And that moment. That's why that chapter is called The Kiss and the Girlfriend. That kiss and the girlfriend. She's literally seeing how in love she is. Minnie being Kazuya here is a callback and reversed of the events after Hawaiians. Whereas Chizuru opened up to Minnie completely then, here Chizuru is actually restrained around Minnie. But the answer is in plain view. The food, how she's acting weird, and her desire to know more. Right? So Minnie is being Kazuya here, and a callback and reversal of the events of Hawaiians. How is that a callback and reversal of the events of Hawaiians, right? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Damn it. I think I explained it later, right? It's a callback and reversal of the events of Hawaiians, because whereas Chizuru opened up to Minnie completely then, here she's actually restrained around Minnie. So, okay, there we go. Thanks, past me. You helped piece my thoughts together, bro. Appreciate it. King shit. So, Chizuru, what does she do in that arc earlier? Let's go back to that chapter. Chapter 235. Chizuru lets Minnie into her home. She doesn't make a big feast. She just simply offers her barley tea. That's it. Here I am in Mizuhara-san's apartment. Right? I'm surprised, though. I thought sure you'd mark me as Master's accomplice. Death stare. It did occur to me that you're pretty close. I won't make any excuses. I know this is on me. Isn't that interesting? Chizuru never says this. Notice how Chizuru never blames herself here. In these chapters, Chizuru never once blames herself. Because Kazuya never faults her, she stops faulting herself. Kazuya never once faults her, she stops faulting herself. So, with that in mind, why are you keeping your distance? It's not like I regret what I did. Even if I could go back in time, I'd do it all over again. But I can't say going on because I'm a rental girlfriend anymore, and recognizing how I've wronged his family too. She opens up to Minnie about everything. She's just telling her stuff. Minnie's like, that's not an answer. What reason do you have to keep your distance from Master? Ruka-chan. All right, so she's talking about fault. She's talking about guilt. Oh, oops. But you're in love, so what can you expect it to be, right? Chizuru needs to explain everything to Minnie. Right? And Minnie can recognize she's in love, and Minnie tells her, it's love. That's what you call it. Minnie literally tells her what you're feeling is love. But it isn't ironic that right now, the love is all over the place and right in front of Minnie, but she can't see it for shit. Where Chizuru opened up completely then, here, Chizuru is actually restrained around Minnie. But the answer is in plain view. The food, how she's acting weird, and her desire to know more. This chapter, and the makeup. And the makeup. The makeup. This chapter is all about context. It is the key to understand, because without context, it becomes easy to see the worst. Chizuru's saying there won't be progress, and she won't string him along because she might be paid in the future seems bad, but it's literally the opposite. The scene is intentionally mirrored when Chizuru gives Kazuya the 100-point answer to the Ito game, a helicopter and a diamond ring, to which she clarifies right after that this is not how she feels. But more specifically, she clarifies this only to Kazuya later in that night. Just as here, Kazuya is the only one who knows the truth. Let's see. We're in a private helicopter watching beautiful fireworks from above when he pulls out a diamond ring and without hesitation he says, "I love you, please marry me." I'm only following up on this to defend my honor, but I don't really want a proposal like that because that's not how I feel. It's just a game, so I know it's weird to worry about it, but I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I don't want you specifically to get the wrong idea. I'd be happy with anything. If it's from the person I love, I'd be happy. I love you, bitch. Propose. I love you, bitch. Propose. This is literally Chizuru saying, propose. Propose. I'm ready to get fucking married. So why did Chizuru lie to Minnie here? And her reaction right after contradicts it, but she keeps it a secret. Why? This is actually ironic. This is actually, ironically, considering Minnie is in the same song and dance. It just intentionally looks like it. Just as in chapter 384, it did. Reiji's playing us. Right? Chapter 384, Kazuya sees the Iron Maiden again, when it isn't. A big theme of this current arc, are you fucking kidding me? A big theme of this current arc is truly seeing people, not just the masks, but who they are. Reiji intentionally recreates a similar scenario, but does one thing differently. He gives you context. The kiss. The kiss changes everything. It informs every one of Chizuru's actions, right? Remember what we said about this scene? We understood the meaning of this scene. She came back expecting him to be here already. She was like, where is he? Why isn't he back yet? She's already expecting him to come back. Right? That's why she goes and looks. Every time she goes and looks like that, she's like, when is he coming back? Why isn't he back yet? That's why she's looking. It's not just she misses him. She's like, where is he? Why isn't he here yet? When Minnie mentions how Kazuya... Right. Before we get into this one, I'll read a different one. I'll go a little further down, and I'll read a slightly different thing. So I also mentioned that. I didn't mention Minnie's line here. The line I didn't mention Chizuru's line here, right? So this line right here. I didn't mention Chizuru's line here, but this line seems brutal, but it's just literally how it happened. Chizuru presents it as neutral. It seems cold and high-mighty, but it's just a matter of fact. And Minnie chooses to see the positive rather than the negative, mirroring Kazuya. This actually surprises Chizuru that Minnie sees it in such a positive way. She wasn't ready for that, right? She's like, oh, thanks, right? She's kind of got off guard. She didn't think Minnie would have a major reaction. She thought maybe this is what Chizuru... Like, literally, the way Chizuru presents it is literally how she assumed Kazuya would have said it. That's why Chizuru frames it like that. It's literally absolutely neutral. She's not adding any new information. It's just literally how it was given to her. So she's assuming this is what Kazuya would have said then. If Kazuya had given Minnie any details, this is probably how he would have phrased it. So Chizuru just says it exactly as it was, not introducing any other details. And she's surprised when Minnie jumps like this because she didn't know Minnie knew she said she might love him. She didn't know that. So Minnie jumping at that, it reflects Chizuru's feelings that, oh, this is what he paid attention to. She's surprised, not because Minnie isn't angry, like this is how I interpret it. Rather, she's surprised because she didn't know Minnie knew this. This line is left to interpretation in some ways. You can see progress like Minnie, or you can see rejection like most people. It could seem cruel because it's dismissive, not going into detail, but that's by design. Chizuru doesn't want Minnie to know the details. It's not for her. Chizuru is deflecting here. Just stating it as it began and ended. That's it. No extra details are given. No information is elaborated on. Heck, it's enough for Minnie, and this surprises Chizuru. Minnie is chill. She doesn't see the worst. Chizuru Chizuru didn't expect anger. Chizuru just didn't know what to expect, right? But she got acceptance instead. And that mirrors Kazuya himself and how Kazuya accepted her. Minnie did exactly what she needed to here. She was supportive. She was a sister through and through. She may be confused, but she didn't assume the worst. Rather, she tries to see the best even in the worst. Kazuya helped Minnie believe in Chizuru as he does. Now, let's talk about this line. Minnie hit the nail on the head, right? So Minnie, this thing, I talked about it before. Minnie kind of hit the nail on the head. We can invest this, you can't invest this much and get this close just to break it off. That only hurts more. Which was Chizuru's mistake in the rejection and the 3-month time skip. Minnie doesn't realize this lesson was already learned, imagining a cute sorry, just like this sorry. Minnie thinks we're back in chapter 238, when Chizuru apologized, thinking we looped all the way back. It's too messed up now, that's not gonna fix things. But it's not like that. We actually didn't loop. Chizuru already made a change, so that wouldn't need to happen. No cruel endings this time, only happy starts. This was going to be the ending of chapter 381. The cruel ending that just doesn't seem right. Too messed up and wrong considering where we got. How much the characters went through. But no, it all reversed that night, and then it reversed in the day by Chizuru. Like yin and yang. Now we can go back to where I was talking about before. Back to Minnie. Nope, not there. A little higher, little higher, little higher. Okay. When Minnie mentions how fuck you. When Minnie mentions how Kazuya is probably super happy to hear what Chizuru might when Minnie mentions how Kazuya is probably super happy to hear how Chizuru might love him, look at how Chizuru reacts. She tilts her head, puts the chopsticks in her mouth, blushes like she just made Kazuya happy, asking, "You think so?" She's happy that he might be happy, just as he was happy that she might love him. Look at the way she tilts. You think so? It's so girly. It's so girly and in love. She eats her love, closing her eyes, imagining his joy in hopes that what Minnie is saying is true. Chizuru is literally in La La Land right now, imagining that Kazuya is too. It's all left in plain sight for Minnie to see, but Minnie turns away in her excitement, missing her reaction, just as we don't see it because we're busy seeing what we want to see. Just as Minnie doesn't see it clearly, so too can we, the audience, miss what's right in front of us. The love in plain view, the truth that's right in front of us that we can miss because we're too busy seeing things how we want to see them, not as they are. The illusion. Minnie's too busy being the little sister. Yeah. It's big sister, little sister energy, and Minnie is too busy being the little sister popping off. What is this? A direct reversal of when Minnie clearly saw that Chizuru was obviously in love and making excuses before. It's love. That's what you call it. I thought you'd say that. It's not something so clear-cut. What do you mean? It's extremely clear-cut. Isn't it true that out of nowhere, you find yourself thinking about him like you're staring at a carrot and suddenly Master's face comes to mind? Literally what she was thinking, just straight up. You get this warm and fuzzy feeling in your chest when you think about him. Isn't that what it's like for you? Hold on, right? Minnie's all up in her business. You might have kept a lid on your emotions because it's your job, but there are times where you can't help it. You're a kind person, Mizuhara-san. There's no need to think so little of your rental persona, except your rental side. I truly believe you were able to be kind to Master because you're such a kind person yourself. But you're just running away, aren't you? If you don't understand your own feelings, that's all the more reason for you to talk it out. Saying that you're a rental girlfriend and that means you have to keep a lid on your emotions is just making excuses, don't you think? Going no contact is the worst thing you can do. So what does Chizuru look like she's doing here? It looks like she's keeping a lid on her emotions. Except she's not. It just looks like it. It just looks like she's hiding or denying her feelings. She's not. Chizuru is not denying her feelings. It just looks like she is. Minnie doesn't see Chizuru here. With no context, you can't possibly understand the truth. Now, Minnie is blind to the love right in front of her eyes. Minnie is being Oda Nobunaga. She, like Oda, like Oda, is reckless and doesn't plan ahead. Kazuya straight up says this, by the way. Let's go back to Kazuya literally saying this. What is it? Geez, this girl's the same as ever. When does Kazuya say this? He says this like, I think he says this like much earlier. Like I think he says it in the fucking movie arc. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he says it in like the movie arc. Way, way earlier in the movie arc. He says Minnie does not think ahead. Not this. Ah, I found it. I got caught up in the moment and I wanted things to go well. I got caught up in the moment and wanted things to go well, so I messed everything up instead. When did I even tell you I like Mizuhara, and when was that? This is turning out to be a massive pain. She never thinks ahead. How did she even survive until now? Minnie is like a cosmic failure. I fucking love how Minnie is just a cosmic fucking failure. She's such a fucking failure. What the shit is this? How do you not think anything ahead? You don't think ahead ever. I love how the series actively presents Minnie as just a fucking failure, like just like colossal fucking failure. It's the best. Minnie, like Oda Nobunaga. Minnie is being like Oda Nobunaga. She, like Oda, is reckless and doesn't plan ahead, doing whatever it takes to dominate the situation. Oda, however, never saw the unity of Japan. He failed. But the final winner, Tokugawa Ieyasu, was the one who waited until the last moment to take victory. A girl failure. That's what it is, a girl failure. Right? Tokugawa was the one who waited until the last moment to take victory. Later, Jorg asks me, who is Tokugawa in this situation? And I'm just like, it's obviously Chizuru. Right? I just gotta find when I said it. Right here. Chizuru is Tokugawa. She's the one who waited until the last minute. Literally as Kazuya is straight up leaving, that's when she takes the chance. Literally. She kissed Kazuya at the last second before he left. She reversed the whole situation just as she's being patient now and waiting to let Kazuya make the move. Right? Chizuru's whole thing has always been like, she's always been like smart and patient, and she doesn't rush into things. She wants to plan ahead. She wants to make sure she's doing the right thing, right? That's Chizuru's whole thing. So but that kiss wasn't completely calculated. However, she did wait until the last minute, just like that, you know. We already talked about her eating her love, right? We talked about this. It's all left in plain view for Minnie to see, but Minnie doesn't see it. All right. Right here. Like Oda, Minnie is the one who carved the original path. She was the great unifier during the 3 months. She, however, is not the unifier now. She never saw the kiss. She never saw them unite. She literally missed the kiss that happened in the heat of the moment. She never saw it. In contrast, the kiss is all Kazuya can see now. He's in a dream, looking up at the moon, and on the cover page, Chizuru is literally called the Impregnable Princess, as the moon shines behind her. He's looking up at the moon that is Chizuru, while Minnie is in the dark about it all, right? Minnie is hiding in the shadows. It's literally in the title of the cover. All right, so let's find Crumpy real quick, and let's see the part where he talks about Minnie. The impregnable Princess Chizuru tonight Minnie will draw near unnoticed, right? But isn't that fitting? Isn't that funny? What did Mute say about Minnie in the cover of the page? Minnie will draw near unnoticed. Bang, 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 thud, 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 thud. She's making a whole bunch of fucking noise. For someone who's supposedly going in unnoticed, you sure are making a lot of noise. This cover is from Minnie's POV. This is how she views herself. She thinks she's like this ninja sneaking in, finding her way in, when she made a whole bunch of fucking noise. She's literally just everybody in the neighborhood can fucking hear her. Right? You have this contrast between silence and all this fucking noise Minnie is making. Minnie, a girl failure and a failed ninja. Girl failure and failed ninja, bro. Where were we? Right here. Right. Now, before Kazuya was right, so I showed you guys this contrast last time. Look at these two images, like Kazuya in the back. Before, Kazuya was the one in the dark, and he needed Minnie to show him the way. He needed Minnie to show him the light. Now Minnie is the one who texts him to know what she can't find. Minnie is kept in the dark because Chizuru believes Kazuya should tell her. Or maybe because Chizuru doesn't want Minnie in this fucking relationship. You know, I changed that initially, right? She trusts whatever path Kazuya takes, and Chizuru will follow, right? This is why Chizuru avoids telling Minnie the truth, because she believes it's Kazuya's to tell. She lies not to protect herself, but to protect him, his happiness, his feelings. Kazuya is the one who told Minnie how it ended. He should be the one to tell her when it starts. Or, you know, she is still Kazuya's friend, so this is still true, but I also think the alternative that I mentioned before is also true. Minnie, this ain't your fucking relationship, butt out. Chizuru doesn't tell Minnie what's on her mind because Kazuya doesn't know. Unlike the 3 months, he should hear it from Chizuru. This one I believe is really fucking important, right? In the 3 months, Kazuya hears the truth from Minnie, right? On top of that, she thinks there is a word for what she felt behind the kiss. That's what she's saying. My confession went through. She did it on top of that. I don't think someone would kiss someone like that, but I'm pretty basic. There's nothing I can do if a girl in questions doesn't understand herself, right? Thank God she doesn't hate me. Kazuya finds out about Ruka at the time through Minnie, right? So here, Chizuru believes I should tell him. Minnie should not tell him. If he wants to know, he should ask me. He should talk to me. Unlike the 3 months, he should hear it from Chizuru, not from Minnie. But Chizuru's curiosity about how he feels links a little bit. She wants to know what he told Minnie. She wants to know how he feels about the kiss. She hopes he said more, so she can connect and feel that in some way. She wants to literally touch his feelings, feel as he's feeling, intimately feel Kazuya's emotions as he is feeling them, hoping that they feel the same way. She wants him to see her as she sees him. Back in the 3 months, Kazuya tried to reach Chizuru through rental, so she eventually met him through that. Here, Chizuru mentions how she may pay her to meet her family, and how she can't string him along anymore. She's drawing a clear line. This is actually removing rental. When Kazuya and Chizuru kissed, it was on a Wednesday, the same day they formed their rental relationship to keep his grandma happy. Every Wednesday, if it's just for an hour, I'll let you rent me. And so, the kiss marks the death of rental, as Kazuya answers yes to Chizuru being his girlfriend when the taxi driver asks. Rental is never going to happen again. Whereas they needed it to meet again and understand their feelings before, now they are ready to face them without walls or protection. They can see and talk to each other honestly and forge something real, see the real person. When they met back then, they had to face away from each other. They couldn't handle it, right? Literally facing opposite directions. Literally facing opposite one another. They couldn't handle it. They weren't ready. Interestingly, there's a few breadcrumbs left for us. I'll read this one a little later. Let's see. Let's see here. Nope. We'll go back to that. Lastly, there's also the topic of Ruka. Whereas Ruka is what hindered Chizuru and Kazuya. Whereas Ruka is what hindered Chizuru in the 3-month time skip, and Kazuya needed to know about it before. Chizuru now needs to know how Kazuya feels about Umi and why Umi hindered his feelings so much. Something that was hinted at in chapter 385. Us finally seeing Umi. Speaking for myself, I still feel pretty guilty about Ruka-chan, and taking into consideration her feelings, I feel it would be pretty bad if she were to know of this situation. Ruka-chan, I see. That's why she was observing the surroundings so scrupulously earlier, right? She looked around. Is Ruka here? That's why she tells him to close the door and lock it. Certainly, if Ruka-chan were to know of this situation, she'd blow her lid. You're supposed to be a rental. What the hell do you think you want to know someone else's boyfriend? It should be fine. She said she's doing homework today. I see. How have things been with Ruka-chan lately? Huh? It's been a year and a half, and since that day now, a lot of stuff happened since then, past a few months, so I thought I should know things are going all right now. And then Kazuya tells her, I told her I don't have feelings for her and I want to break up with her. Right? I don't even know what happened after that. Intentionally. He doesn't know. You got to ask. You got to know. You got to tell her how you're feeling about that. Right? And then he does this. So that was already hinted to us that we're going to finally get an explanation for that. I forgot to mention how Minnie also brought miso buns, saying it's a friendship checkpoint. A callback to how Chizuru's ideal proposal is, being asked to make miso soup every morning. Minnie again did what Kazuya was supposed to do when he came back. Propose with a ring box. How fitting, right? She also misinterprets the meaning of the curtain being down, claiming it must symbolize that only girls are left in the house, when it actually means that Chizuru has lowered her veil for Kazuya, and he can traverse her home freely, because they are together now. There's nothing to hide. I think Chizuru was waiting for Kazuya to come home and propose to her. That's why Minnie calls her the Holy Mother. It's a reference to the nursery when Kazuya also said the same thing, that she would be a great wife and a wise mother. She's ready to marry Kazuya. And then the rest is just kind of predictions, right? We predicted that maybe they would meet at a train or something along those lines. I wasn't really sure about that. I talk about how the cover page of chapter 335 mirrors 387. So like, look at how similar these two are, right? Chizuru is behind Minnie. Yet again, Minnie is the centerpiece and Chizuru is behind her, right? Chizuru is the thing Minnie believes she needs to find and overcome. It's framed like a movie poster. It's literally framed like a movie poster. Minnie thinks of herself as an investigator. Minnie thinks of herself as a ninja who's going to traverse this stuff. She views herself like a lead in a film. She literally views herself like a lead in a film. Or Minnie can't get into the fortress, or more accurately, she doesn't know she's already inside. Minnie isn't a boss fight here by design. There's nothing to beat, no enemy to fight. The battle already ended. The battle has consummated. She is a guest, not an infiltrator, right? In fact, in some ways, she doesn't even realize she's not here at all. Minnie is family now. It's one of the earlier threads on the list above. She's under the illusion that there's something she needs to resolve when there isn't. The family is not torn apart, it's already together. Minnie is the kid or the sister. I didn't mention Chizuru's line. Okay, we already talked about this. Chizuru's deflecting here. Yep, talked about this. Yep. Okay, now we go back up. Y'all like how I'm like fucking with this so much? Interestingly, there are a few breadcrumbs left for us. The clock when Minnie talks about them being separated is almost 8 o'clock. Minnie is born on April 8th. She's born on April 8th. And Yamori has the kanji for 8 in it. We're also on the 8th anniversary. And next chapter is 388. That's a lot of fucking 8s, dude. 8 symbolizes growth and prosperity in Japan. The 8 kanji is shaped like that. It looks like it's spreading wide towards the future, which is believed to be the symbol of prosperity. When we read the Kichoki and Nihon Shoki Oishima, the 8 great islands, which is a reference to the shape of the Japanese archipelago. The Yoto no Kagami, a sacred mirror, which is one of the 3 sacred treasures, and the Yosakana no Migatami, another one of the 3 sacred treasures, all reference the number 8. There are a lot more examples of this in the importance of Japanese and number 8 in Japan. But isn't it fitting that the number 8 matches Japan itself and how Minnie never saw it united, just like Oda never did? Even though 8 is literally her number, the 8 also signifies the breaking of the loop, and rather the start of an infinite time in the relationship. That you can literally flip 8 and it becomes infinity, just like Chizuru said earlier. Two of the three sacred treasures referencing 8 matches the 388 from the next chapter as well. Maybe next chapter might be passive, considering the importance of the number 8 in all of this. It seems like next time may be a very important moment for the story moving forward. Yes, 8 is a very, very lucky number, and so is 3. The preview is, what did you just say? Or I believe it's what did you just say. So I asked I asked Crumpy to elaborate on this. He said, I thought it could be that too, but I chose what did you just say because of this website. They translated it as such. That's supposed to be the complete sentence would be. But it's just real. But if it's really just that, then why now maybe the correct one? We can't be 100% sure, in my opinion. So we don't know. We don't know which one is more accurate, the what now or what did you just say. We don't know which one's more accurate. 3 plus 5 equals 8. 358. Oh yeah, both of Kazuya's lucky numbers. How fitting. Okay. I'm almost done, honey. This, of course, could possibly be Minnie hearing about the kiss from Kazuya, or maybe it's something completely different. If we go based on the previous chapters, it could be the reverse. Kazuya not telling her anything. Or maybe Chizuru says something. It could be anything. All right. And I believe that is it for now. I think we did everything we needed to. I said I would stream until about 3 hours, so I think now is as good a time as any to stop. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I tried to keep it. I tried to keep this stream a little short. I know you guys are expecting more, but I wanted to keep it a little short. I'm kind of tired and beat, so I limited how much we were doing this. I kind of want to read this Japanese fans post. Huge thanks to Minnie-san for voicing the reader's feelings. For the expressionless face upon returning to the blush during the meals, Chizuru's emotions have been hard to read lately and super tricky. Right? Isn't it fascinating how everybody kind of seemingly thinks this, that like Minnie is literally saying what they expect her to say, or what she says what the audience is feeling? Isn't that fascinating? Oh, good. The comments under Reiji have been kind of chill. That's good. That's good. All right. So I think I'm going to call it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this new image. Looks a little blurry. Why does it look blurry? Why do I look so blurry? What the hell? Oh jeez. Now I gotta get something like proper to wipe it with. Jesus. Why does it look so weird? It looks oversaturated. It looks completely oversaturated. Why? What the hell? Why do I look so weird? You're a blurry person. I can tell that. Thank you. I can see that. Thank you. Anywho. Depth of field might be off. Oh, true. Who cares? Who cares? We're ending it today. Let me see if I can just correct it to a wide lens. There we go. There we go. And we'll just lower it up a little bit. Okay, so for anyone who watched this video, I'm gonna hopefully make this a video. Please make this a video. Please make this a video, future me. I'm begging you, man. For any of those who watched the video, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to keep up with the uploads, especially if you enjoyed the video. That would mean a lot. Consider joining the Discord. It should be in the link down below. And finally, consider supporting me on Patreon. I play Cyberpunk. Consider supporting me on Patreon. It would mean a lot, and it would help me make more videos in the future. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Also, consider checking out my Twitter. I read a lot of threads there that are really interesting. Some of them are in the comments down below. I actually already did a massive analysis on why the date played out like it did. With that said, take care, fellas. It's been fun. I've been Fate, and remember, let's mosey. Also, Cyber Bacon. Yes, Cyber Bacon. Lawless Bacon. Yes, I play Cyberpunk. I actually beat Cyberpunk 2077. I enjoyed it a whole lot. I did not play the DLC yet, though. I played it. I played it way after they fixed it. Way after they fixed it, and that's when I got to play it. But yeah, we're gonna stop it here. If you want to talk more about that, you can talk to me another time. All right, fellas, it's been fun. Remember, let's mosey.